The Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Okay.
How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm blessed, man.
What's up?
How y'all boys been doing this evening, man?
Man,
Doing
we're doing
all right.
Oh,
Excited to do our first collaborative episode with the Trevor Jackson Podcast.
Oh
Yeah.
man, this is a special edition now. And
It is, man.
Instead of alcohol, I got
Oh shit!
I love my gut.
Yeah. Well, Joey decided to make us. Go ahead.
We are drinking Appletinis.
Oh man, y'all getting bougie
Cheers.
on me, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
cheers,
bougie.
right?
Appletinis, man. Y'all boys stepping it up with the flavors, man.
Yeah.
Well, there's a TV show, Scrubs, that we both really like a lot. And the main character used to drink Appletinis a lot. He always say, easy on the teeny. I went a little heavy on the teeny tonight, just for Steven. So
I feel like Joey's about to hit that time of the month, so he was craving some Appletinis.
that's right.
That's what's up, man. So that's crazy. Appletinis. What type of alcohol in the Appletini?
It's Tower vodka, and then I've got sour apple schnapps and something else. I can't remember what the other one is. It's a Calvados, I think. Is what it
Estrogen.
is. Yeah.
Okay. So
Look.
yeah, estrogen.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you never mix drinks for us.
I know, because I'm a man and I drink my shit straight.
Tell me I've made a drink in here that wasn't good.
Ooh.
It's true.
Thank you.
And I did bring like the 5-year-old sake. So.
You did bring 5-year-old sake. You brought Hypnotic. You brought Grappa. You
Ouzo.
brought some Ouzo. You bring shit.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
man, he brings shit. Oh
Yeah.
man, come on, Steve. Now you can't bring shit to the party.
Hey, man. So what's going on with you?
Hey man, I've been blessed, man. Just potting it up, waiting for Thanksgiving, man. I'm taking a break from pot next week, man.
Oh, yeah.
This the last pod for the, you know what I'm saying? I got to show out on this pod, man.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
No, shit, man. We're honored then.
Yeah. Hey, I'm honored to have y'all boys on the show, man. Well, not to have y'all on my show. We collaborating now.
Yeah, we're on each other's show.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm actually in the process of trying to share out the live stream right now so that more people can see it. So
Okay.
So you said you come into the table. You already had some shit prepared. You and Joey are like in the sense of you actually prepare for these. I'm a piece of shit and just show up and talk.
Hey man, that's what's up, man. Hey, that means you got plenty to say then, man.
I forget half of it, man.
If you was a rapper, you'll be a freestyle rapper. We'll be the ones to write down the lyrics.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'd be a freestyle rapper still living in the trailer park.
yeah.
So since we be having alcoholic beverages when we communicate with each other, my I love my gut kombucha has 1% alcohol tonight.
Oh.
So I got a question for y'all. Now, what is the first alcoholic beverage I ever had? And I'm gonna tell y'all mine.
All right.
I had a sip of my granddad's PBR back before PBR was a hipster beer. That was probably my first drink I can remember.
Yeah, I mean the very first when I was in probably diapers still, I had a young
That doesn't count.
Well, because I had a young aunt and uncle that got me drunk on wine coolers.
Yeah.
But I mean in high school you'd say I started drinking, it was Wild Turkey and Budweiser.
Oh, Wild Turkey and Budweiser, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
See, my grandmother would do the old put the whiskey on the finger and rub them on the gums when you're teething, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So how about you, man?
Well, it was a song that made me want to drink, and it was by Snoop Dogg, and it was nasty. I was so drunk I couldn't even. I was super drunk because I couldn't taste nothing. But when Snoop Dogg came out with that sipping on gin,
Yeah,
right.
Be alright with my mind on my money and my money. I drunk. I don't know what happened, but we bought a gallon of Seagram's gin.
Oh shit.
and 2 big old things of Minute Maid orange juice, and I was so sloppy drunk because we drank a whole gallon because I couldn't taste nothing. I thought I was gonna die the next day because
I was gonna say, man, that gin and juice mix us together, and it's a dangerous fucking combination.
yeah. Stomach doing the moonwalk and everything, man.
We talked to a guy a few weeks ago. He was drinking gin and kombucha mixed together.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was, wasn't he? I forgot about that.
Gin and kombucha.
That sounds terrible to me.
It does. I don't like kombucha anyway. Gut or not, I don't like kombucha. So
kombucha tastes awful, but it does something to my stomach. It settles my stomach when I'm not feeling good.
Yeah.
And my belly needs a little adjustment. You know what I'm saying?
And my kid loves that shit, Jude. He'll drink vinegar. Like, he loves kombucha. It's disgusting.
That's the kid that took a pepper off of my counter because he said he liked peppers.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Just ate a pepper like an apple.
Yeah.
Oh man. Ooh. So dang, I done seen a kid before. I remember I was mad at a dog one time too. And I gave him a habanero pepper.
Like like a pet dog. Okay. I thought maybe you're talking about a friend or something. So
I gave a pet dog. I don't know. I feel bad about that because the dog was coughing, running around, and couldn't even. It was but that was bad though. That was
we don't endorse animal cruelty on this show.
We do not.
God damn it, that's hilarious.
Have you ever noticed that it seems like that a dog can eat anything that's temperature hot? Like, I've never seen a dog try to eat something that's hot, that's temperature hot, and it bother them at all. Yeah. I've never seen that before. Joey's
dog will try to drink my whiskey. I'll let her have some every now and then when he's not looking.
Whiskey, coffee, piss.
Oh, that ain't bad whiskey. That's cool actually. Some whiskey, have you a little shot here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had either uncle or great uncle or some shit used to get his dog drunk as shit. He'd pour beer in its bowl, and that dog would get fucked up.
That's crazy. So hey man, that's wild. I'm getting a dog tipsy and feeding a dog hot pepper. You know what I mean?
So you said you were fixing to take a little break from podcasting, and I didn't quite catch because I was tweeting out the link. I didn't. How long are you taking a break?
Just Thanksgiving weekend.
Just Thanksgiving.
Just one weekend.
Yeah. So what are your plans for Thanksgiving?
I would. Well, me and my lady, we're going to Clearwater.
Okay. All right.
Florida.
Yeah.
We're going to hang out and chill and just some alone time. I don't want to. Sometimes I'm the type of person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm the type of person that I need to delete Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
Get some meditation on and recharge my batteries. That's just the type of individual I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes over Thanksgiving, you got to stuff something besides a turkey. You know what I'm saying?
We'll go down there and have some gator and stuffing.
Some naughty time. Hey, y'all had fried gator before?
Yes.
Not fried.
That's a Tennessee thing. You know, every time we play the Florida Gators, we got to have a little fried gator and cocktail sauce.
All right.
Good.
I'm coming to Knoxville again.
You going where?
When are you coming? When are you going to visit Knoxville again?
I'll probably be to Knoxville in about January. You
going to come on in person?
Yeah, you going to come in here and sit in with us?
Oh, yeah. And I'm buying the drinks. I'm going to turn y'all on to something.
All right. Sold.
That's fine. It'd be nice for somebody else to buy the drinks before change.
Yeah, I don't know. At work, man, they love me after the podcast.
Sure.
I'm allowed to drink at work. Like, so
Yeah.
I have my whiskey and shit I'll carry around and have some. So after we have the podcast, like, we don't drink the whole bottle. So I take the shit to work with me after.
Sometimes we do.
Yeah, sometimes we do. But I'll take that. So I got a whole stack of liquor at work now. So they love the podcast. They don't listen because I don't let them. But.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Hey, I would have to drink the whole bottle, but I suggest one of y'all probably drive back to a destination or whatever. Yeah.
We've finished a bottle a couple of times on here.
Yeah. But I like to live dangerously.
Right.
Yeah. Now, was either one of y'all ever Boy Scouts before?
I think we both were.
I would know. I was a wee blow.
Well, yeah, that's as high up as I made it as well.
Right.
It's still part of the Boy Scouts, but the name of that group was the Webelos.
Yeah.
Also,
You remember what Webelo stands for?
No, I don't know.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't.
It's all it's all like cut up into the Webelos. We'll be loyal scouts.
Oh, I just knew they made me wear a neckerchief, and I was like, "Fuck this!"
Yeah,
and
it was rough. You meet in the church basement, lights are dim.
Secret
Oddly
wrestling
a camera set up. No, I'm just
secret basement with a torture toy.
Yeah.
No. So
I've
y'all
never
heard about what's going on with the Boy Scouts?
Yeah, well, I know that they've had a shit ton of lawsuits recently. They're like uncovered however many thousands of cases of molestation and abuse.
Well, I knew that, but I also heard that they had I guess decided that girls could be in there now too.
Oh, that happened. That's
sure, but I'm saying that's
news.
the only two Boy Scout news I've heard in the last few years.
Now, wasn't there just something that they just uncovered, like a whole bunch more like abuse cases that have been kind of swept out?
It's ridiculous how many cases that I can't even name them. It's just an enormous amount of cases of.
That's why they did most of their meetings at the Catholic churches, I guess, isn't it?
No, it is crazy. I mean, it really is. And I don't know. It's such an odd thing to me. Like I just don't understand.
Boy Scouts or molestation?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Like the combination of the two.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a prime example of like the opportunity that are out there for like child molesters. But
well, there's a comedian that I heard say before is like, the way you decide who shouldn't be alone with your kids is when you say, all right, the Boy Scouts need to go camping this weekend. Who wants to take them? The first guy to raise his hand, Bill, you're out. Who doesn't want to go? Whoever doesn't want to go, you're the one taking them.
Well, like Eli was in Boy Scouts for a while because, I mean, he enjoyed it. And I went on any overnight, any camping shit that they had going on. And all the leaders, at least in that spot, were like super above board, or at least seemingly from what I could see and be around. But, you know, but the Scouts is also a huge organization too. So, I mean, not that excuses any of it, but I mean, but it's the same thing with the Catholic Church. Like, it amazes me how widespread that shit is. And you don't think about it until like it starts pouring out, you know, in different avenues.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy that they got so many lawsuits on them. Yeah. Like the opposite is happening with the Boy Scouts than what's happening with the Girl Scouts. And annually, I talked about this before, and I don't know if y'all heard that before, but you know how much those cookies make annually.
Oh, it's insane. You know, they make shitloads because they started selling them year round, and now they have like Girl Scout cookie cereal and all this other shit. I mean, they're making a killing. I don't know what they make, but I can imagine it's probably a billion or more.
Guesstimate. I would appreciate it if I could get you guys to guesstimate.
2.3 billion.
Hey, that's more than I thought. Now, 8. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, you just said 8, so I'm gonna go for that. No, I was $8. I was gonna guess between 10 and 20 million a year. Was my guess.
$800 million a year off of cookies, man.
Jesus Christ!
I can remember when a box of Girl Scout cookies was $3. Because I used to buy Girl Scout cookies a lot, but there's no telling what it is now. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That's great.
And see, everything in this world is going upside down. Men, we ain't nothing no more. We ain't shit. And you know what I'm saying? Women are just flourishing. You know what I mean? It's wild to me, though.
Yeah,
that's wild.
We had a little bit of this conversation that turned into a rather heated discussion the other night, mostly because I was being an asshole. About the pendulum swinging.
Oh, the pendulum swinging. Yeah, the pendulum swinging.
Yeah.
But like, because my wife is a pretty big feminist, and not in the sense of like, you know, men need to be castrated and thrown in the streets, but just very big on women's empowerment and a lot of that shit. And you know, it's a lot of it's actually changed a little bit of my perspective on it, talking to her and where she's come from, and because she's pretty common sense about it. She's not a, you know, everything is terrible, you know, blah 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 blah. But just in the fact that of how things swing, like I was telling him the other day on an episode that, you know, if I have to get kicked in the dick a little bit for things to kind of level out over time, because women have kind of been shit on a lot over the last fucking 100 years. Yeah. And you know, and well, it's the same thing with any type of I guess open doors for a minority, like changes in how the police work, things like that, for any minority civil rights and shit like that. I mean, people that have the shit kicked out of them for a while, that that's got to swing the other way at least a little bit. And people aren't a big fan of taking those kicks to let things level out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it is all fear of control, because there's nobody, in my opinion, really wants equality. No one does. Everybody wants an advantage. The people that have the advantage want to hang on to that advantage, and the people that don't have an advantage want that fucking advantage. And so the people that have it are fighting to fucking keep it, and by whatever means necessary. And then, and so it's it's a power clash is all it is. And
who's willing to die for it at the end of the day? That's what it's about, to be honest with you.
Well, that, and whoever's in power, it's who are they willing to kill to keep it?
That's a fact.
Yep.
That's a fact. Yep. Wow, that's wild. And the women, it's swinging their way right now. It's swinging.
Yep.
And
there's a lot of people that don't think
masculine than men. Right.
There's a lot of people that don't think it's swinging their way right now. There's a lot of people that don't think that.
Females don't think that.
There are people. I mean, there are males and females that think that. I mean, they don't think it's swinging the way of any minority, of women or racial minorities. There's a lot of people that don't think it's swinging that way. So speaking of this, I wanted and I hadn't thought about this until we were talking about this, but how do you feel about now I can't even think of what it's called. What is it called when you hire somebody?
Equal opportunity.
No, that's not the phrase I'm looking for.
Okay.
Oh God.
When you hire someone.
When you're hiring somebody for a job or whatever, there's a phrase, but anyway. It's not equal opportunity. It falls under that, but that's not the phrase I'm thinking. Regardless, I know people of multiple races that don't like that. I know white guys that don't like it, black guys that don't like it, mixed people that don't like it, but then I know lots that do like it. So, like, how do you feel about that? Because some people, the reasoning behind them not liking it that I've been given is because it puts them in a position for the other people to think that they only got it, their job, their position, whatever, for that reason.
Were you thinking affirmative action?
Affirmative action.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to think of. Affirmative action. I know a black guy that said, I don't like it because then everyone that didn't get that job or everyone that works for that person now thinks that they got that job strictly because of their race, their gender, whatever.
My opinion, I think that people should get hired based on capabilities, and it don't matter about prior history. It's just about what you're capable of.
Yeah.
My opinion. And if you ain't capable of doing it, you ain't getting the job now. If you can't handle the job, you ain't getting the job.
Sure.
For me, if I'm hiring. But I don't know, like, everybody has the right to have a job, but it's according to what type of job it is.
Sure. Like if I were a hiring manager, I would want to see resumes only. No photos, no names. I would just want to see resumes and then pick the resumes for people I want to interview at that point.
Yeah.
That way you can kind of base it on the experience, and then you can tell from it.
But the downside of that is you might have some people that don't look as good on paper, but that have but they have a lot more capability when you like I'm a prime example of that. Like on paper, the job I have now, I'm so underqualified for it. But meeting me in person, they decided to take a chance on whatever, mostly because I'm fucking good at bullshitting people. But I was able to get into.
But they brought you in based off your resume, right? They interviewed you based off your resume.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, I dropped that military card on there, and that goes
sure. I mean, that goes a long. It does. It goes a long way. I mean, because they know that you have some discipline, and you can take orders, and you can follow instruction and things like that. Right. So, I mean. To me, that still goes back to the resume.
See, my whole thing with like affirmative action, in my opinion, is it's kind of like the union in the sense of it absolutely served a very important purpose at one point.
Yep,
and it still does in certain industries.
Absolutely,
but as a whole, it's
what's like tenure for teachers. It started out as a good thing, but now it's turned into you can have sex with a student and you're not going to lose your job,
right?
Possibly.
Yeah, and so I still think in certain industries it's an absolutely valid system to still have in place.
Yeah.
But there's others that it isn't, but because things are so nuanced and there's so many things, you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak.
Sure.
Kind of like putting any type of law in place, like it has to be broad and widespread. Otherwise, you have so many caveats of this, and this, and this.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. I think it all served. I think it was all probably all of those types of things were good at one point, and now they've kind of, in some instances and in some industries, overstayed their welcome.
Right.
Now they've, you know.
Well, I look at a lot of those things as like the whole pro-life argument, you know, pro-life or pro-choice or pro-abortion, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Right.
Is that like the taking any type of religious conviction out of the equation, right? You can't say, well, it's bad to have an abortion unless you've been raped.
Sure.
Because then anybody said, or, you know, unless it's incest, then it's okay, but it's not in these cases because there's no way to prove a lot of these things. So it either all has to be legal or all has to be illegal. Like you can't just put caveats in there because there's no way to prove those caveats.
Sure.
And people always take advantage
Absolutely.
of those things.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's crazy. I'm reading the definition of affirmative action because I didn't know the correct definition of affirmative action. And it sounds crazy to me. It's the practice of policy of favoring individuals belonging to groups known to have been discriminated against previously.
Right.
Now,
yeah,
I understand that we want to give everybody a job. We want to give everybody an opportunity. And I'm glad politics is the president thing is over with because I was fatigued.
I got some questions for you on that too.
Yeah, I was highly fatigued. But that sounds like something that the Democratic Party put in place. That don't sound like something that the Republican Party put in place because I understand people been discriminated on previously, but you have to be capable. I ain't saying qualified because capable and qualified, it you know what I mean?
Right.
It's edgy or whatever. But if you're capable, it shouldn't matter your gender, race, or sex or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It just shouldn't matter if you're capable because, like, I work at Cisco Foods, you know what I'm saying, at nighttime. And it's a heavy job, and it's only one female that work in there. But she's capable. So, you know what I mean? They let her work.
For sure. But that in and of itself, like I was saying, it was at least at some point needed because you're going to have some groups that are only going to hire a white dude because it's the old Southern Boys Club. You know what I'm saying? So at some point there had to be something in place. Like, listen, no, you assholes can't keep doing the same shit. There's other people that are qualified. You're going to have to like make some exceptions and throw your shit out the window. You know what I mean? And so like it has a purpose and a legitimate one at that. But I think in certain industries, or in certain instances, sometimes it's overused. Maybe like, I don't know what the right words would be. Like I can see both sides of that coin, you know what I mean? The things that are positive about it and the things that are negative.
Yeah.
You know, but actually, so I don't want to change the subject, but it kind of branches off of that.
Well, I was just going to say you are correct. It was Lyndon B. Johnson that put affirmative action into place, and he was a Democrat.
Yeah. And I didn't know. It just seems like a democratic thought process.
Which is
Lyndon B. Johnson was also a racist asshole.
Yeah, he was. But he did good. I mean, like it's again, it goes throwing out the baby with the bathwater. I mean, you could say cancel him, be done with him, whatever. But shit, he did a lot of fucking good. Yeah. I mean, but I would have not really would have thought that a Republican did, but I wouldn't have been surprised if a Republican had did it just because in the 1800s, the Republicans were the anti-slavery party. Mm-hmm. So I kind of, if that had started in the late 1800s, early 1900s, the discussion of affirmative action, then I wouldn't have been surprised if it had been a Republican politician, president or otherwise. But yeah, it was a Democrat.
Mm-hmm. And I was just freestyling with that thought process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I find interesting about, I hate. Okay, so I'm super apolitical. I'm very opinionated, but like we've briefly talked about, like I think most politics, at least on a large scale, is a bunch of horse shit. Everybody's going to pander to whatever group that they want support or approval from or whatever. Like if you think anybody in the federal government gives a shit about you as an individual or what you have going on, I think that you're greatly misguided. You know, for my personal opinion. Yeah. But in that regard, it amazes me how polarizing certain things are. That how can I word this? A lot of things that the Republicans claim are good for everybody are pretty staunchly racist in their own right. But the Democrats, some of the shit that they say is best for everybody is staunchly made to control minorities and everything else. I mean, both parties had that, but it's spun much differently. Like the welfare system initially was made to keep black people reliant on the government and kept in their place. Planned Parenthood, when it was founded, was to control minority fucking population. Yeah, like all this shit that's really championed by the Democratic Party. They're really
doing the same thing. They're just doing it. They're approaching it differently. Yeah,
I think the Democrats do that stuff to make, like, if you can make people feel comfortable, you have more control than a person that doesn't care about your comfort. You know what I mean? But they still have control in a different way.
Well, sure, but you're also trying to make people think that they're dependent upon you. Like, you need us. You can't make it on. I mean, this is an argument I heard, and I actually agree with the whole needing a government issued ID to vote. And to say that people can't get an ID that's very. I mean, that's degrading to say that someone doesn't have the capability of getting an ID. I mean, anyone can walk into the DMV and get an ID. Maybe it's not a driver's license, but you can get an ID. It's just like, yeah, you can. No. How? What?
Because you have to have certain other types of proof for different things. I'm just saying,
have a mail, a previous ID, and
I don't think you do to just get a state issued ID. I think you need your social security card.
Well, you have to have that. But there's some other things you have to have.
What if you don't have your social security card?
But you can request one.
That costs money.
Not in all cases.
But if you have your
unless
ID,
it's changed recently, not in all cases.
If you do have your state ID, you don't need your social security card then, do you?
No, but I'm just saying, like, to get a state ID, like, let's just say you can't afford to pay for a driver's license.
Yeah,
you can get a state ID.
But okay, so I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I know that because this is where we would disagree on some, but some people, especially if they're having to work, whatever the case may be, or transportation wise, they're not always have access to get to where they want to go or the time to spare to go and do some of those things.
I understand that. That, to me, that's a better argument than someone doesn't have the capability.
Well, see, I think the capability is used, again, this is where you get very literal. You think of people saying that they're not capable of doing it on their own, but a lot of times I see capability.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that party says people don't have access to this thing. It's just like somebody made the argument that Hobby Lobby was not allowing access to birth control to their female employees. Okay. Which is that's a very misleading statement. They weren't paying for birth control in their insurance plan.
Right.
You have access to it.
But again, that's where you get very literal with the wording, because that's
the reason I get literal with it is because it's said that way for a reason. They're not.
I'm not arguing with you there.
So that's why I get literal with it. It's like, nah, you're spinning this in your way. This is not the way it really is.
Right. But when I'm saying access, like when somebody says they might have the capability, I put a lot of things under that category. That could be they don't have the capability because of transportation, because of time, because of children. Like, it's not that they're not physically capable of doing it. Sometimes they're not, like, life capable of doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm one of those people that
but it goes back. It goes back to painting with broad strokes, right? Because there's always exceptions to people that have a harder time, and people in rural areas that live out and don't have transportation into where the DMVs would be. I mean, there's all kinds of shit. But
can we say that's an excuse?
I think to a large degree it is, for sure.
Because you can walk to the DMV.
Not if you're 20 miles away.
Yeah, you can.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So you're a military man now.
People in foreign countries that walk.
I automatically think of, like, a fucking 28-year-old single mom with 4 kids who's already having to, like, walk to her job at a cafe. And again, I'm going an extreme example, but that type of thing does exist.
Yeah. I guess my thing is, like, if you want to do it, you'll find a way to do anything. If you want to, if it is physically possible. I mean, if you want to fly to the moon without any help, you're not going to find a way to do that.
If I wanted to walk to Knoxville from Charlotte to be on the
you could do it. Podcast. Forrest Gump ran across the country.
Hey, y'all want me to tell y'all something that's weird about you talking about running across the country?
Yeah.
I have dreams about doing that. I want to do that one day.
Really?
I just want to just walk from Delaware to California.
Well, shit, dude, you're not getting any younger, man.
I can do it when I'm 80. I do it when I'm 80. But why is that? Like, why do I want to just walk with no phone, I just want to walk a trail because it's a trail to do that. It's just something I'm curious about. Just walk from Delaware to California with nobody, nothing, just a backpack full of snacks and a towel. And
do you think you'll do it? That's the bigger question. Do you think you will do it
one day? I probably won't do it. I probably will do it one day. I'll end up doing it one day.
Well, I think it encapsulates just the idea of freedom, not being tied into something, just complete a lack of reliance on anything, and just being able to kind of do what the fuck you want without any distractions, anybody, any responsibility. Like goddamn. But the only responsibility that you have is to essentially stay alive and get to your destination. You can take as long as you want. You can take any detours you want. Like it's full and total. The only thing that restricts anything that you're doing is weather. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know, something about freedom that I love, just being free. That's me. I could have a zillion dollars of being completely free. I wish I could just walk around naked and not have to go to work, not have to do nothing, and just be free. I don't know. I'm weird as shit. I don't be talking about it a lot on the podcast, but I'm actually weird as shit. If y'all really believe me, though.
Well, if you're walking around naked, I'm fucking not walking around naked.
Why do we have to have clothes on now?
Right. Yeah, because people like me with really small Caucasian dicks get really uncomfortable, and jealous of people with really fucking big swinging dicks. Now, that's why you got to wear goddamn clothes.
I heard something you said on the skit, right? On the podcast. I listened to the last podcast. I listen to all y'all podcasts. I love the ghost one too.
Appreciate that.
The one podcast I listened to where the weenies was that's the reason I canceled my YMCA membership.
There's so many dicks, man.
I went in there, like the first time I had a gym membership was the YMCA. I went in the room and I about had a heart attack. I seen all the little wee-wees running around in there.
And it's almost all old white dudes.
Yeah.
All old white dudes with the little shriveled up things, man. And you can't help but look at it. Ain't no,
So why is it that it's almost exclusively white guys that do it? Take out old, but white guys. Because I've seen some guys that I wouldn't call old doing that in a locker room before. Why is that? Like, what is it? I mean, on that same episode, I talked about a guy I played football with that was a black guy. He never got naked in front of everybody, but he sure makes sure you saw what he had. He'd bundle it up in his boxers and wave it in your face, so you knew what he was packing. But he never got naked in front of anybody.
Well, I think. Can I throw my theory into this? Unless you have one, Trevor, you want to throw out there?
No. Go ahead. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna back.
All right. So my thought is if it's in a locker room sports situation, because most of the time, like dudes, younger guys are, if they have to be naked in that situation, they are. But in a casual like YMCA type of thing, that has usually been prior to the YMCA more of, lack of a better word, a fluent white dude thing, and like the white dudes like in their bathhouses since Greece, like lounge around fucking naked and all that shit is just something that older white dudes have always done. Like I mentioned the last one, going to that all men's spa gym thing that my dad used to go to, and it was just a bunch of old dudes, but they were all white. There were no minorities in that club at all.
Yeah.
And I think that shit just kind of carries over. That's, a lot of things that we do now or that are common now are strictly just, or fucking great grandchildren of shit that's been done for forever, just a different expression. That's my theory.
Okay. Now, me, I took my drawers with me everywhere I went. I might have showered in my drawers when I was in there. I can't do that because if I drop the soap and I gotta let them cheeks out, I don't want nobody to come running behind me. I'm going to jail. I'm going straight to jail. But that's why
you might, depending on who it is, you might be going to the hospital to get that asshole sewn up first.
Oh my God.
Hey, I'm gay, so stick your ass up against my dick.
Yeah, if it's Big John over there with 400 pounds with all the muscles. In the gym, you gotta be careful now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
oh my God.
That's why I canceled my my gym membership at the Y, because it smelled like the Carolina Zoo. You know what I'm saying? The zebra section. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have a question back on the politics shit. How do you feel about the I guess the so far turnout, all the controversy and all the shit about the election, how that went down? Like you said, it's been stressful a little bit, or I should say stressful, but you're tired of it. You're tired from it.
I think that presidents are selected and not elected.
Amen.
I just feel that way. I feel like they're selected, and I feel like Trump had his run, his turn, and I feel like the whoever is in leadership, if it's the Illuminati, what people like to say, if it's the people that's in power, I feel like they said, man, we need somebody else in here to talk crazy and do things that we need done and we want done. Because Trump had a lot of money, and he probably was, you know what I'm saying, like not obedient to the people that's in power. So I just feel like those votes or whatever, the votes don't matter, man. They never matter. I don't vote. I don't really vote like that for presidency. I voted for Obama the first time, and then I felt like Obama didn't do anything, just my perspective, and I didn't vote for him the second time. That's the only time I ever voted for a president in my life.
Yeah, I know another guy that did the same thing. Voted for him and then said he didn't do shit, so I'm not voting for him again. Yeah. That's my thought process about it. But at the end of the day, Steve, I feel like they're just to make it short or whatever. I feel like they're selected and not elected.
Yeah.
Just to make it short, boss.
I got you. You know what? I'm in a similar boat. Like I feel like that presidents, I feel like that they are chosen. I've always joked that's kind of like, I look at it as like a professional sports, right? They start getting groomed in the earlier stages and getting drafted, so to speak, how they're going to fit into this role and, brought up through various channels. But I tend to be a little bit more like the actual government. The shit that goes on is behind that. And the election might actually happen based on votes, but I don't think it matters in the sense of what's been going on behind the scenes. Like whoever's there is just, it's a figurehead, right? So, hey, we let the people think they're electing these guys right here. They're going to be in office, say what the fuck they're going to say, but what's actually going to go on behind the scenes by whoever's actually running shit. Because people like, well, with the alien disclosure, for example, like, well, it was that big of a secret if the government knew and the president knew, Trump would have said something. I was like, what the fuck makes you think the president knows?
Right.
Like there's so many black ops sectors of the government and black projects and everything else. They don't know, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like the public facing side is just that. It's for division. It's for fucking appeasing the people that need to be appeased, and not that there's never any manipulation of that, but it doesn't matter because it's all just a front for all the other shit that's going on behind the scenes. That's kind of how I look at it. So in the end, fucking Kanye could have gotten elected, which would have been fucking awesome because I would have enjoyed watching that train wreck much, much more. But in the end, it still would have mattered because, like you said, the people that want to get shit done in whatever way needed are the ones that are going to get shit done,
Yeah.
So.
And the people that you visually see really isn't the people that's in power that's controlling things, my opinion.
No, I agree. It's all fucking Tupac and Elvis, man. They're running the show.
So you said something about your military experience too now. Which when well, I don't know if you can disclose this, but when them boys really running things over there and we done beat these boys up, but they really taking cheeks over there when they get done. Is that a celebratory thing?
I haven't heard of it on that end of it. That wouldn't surprise me. But not that I know of.
I've not heard anything about it. I know that there's, you always had
a couple of times taking cheeks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're not that white. Come on.
Okay.
I am. No,
no, yeah. I mean, I've heard about videos of them pissing on corpses and stuff like that, but I've never heard of the raping or anything like that. Although I would venture to say it's probably happened.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a common thing, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that shit. Because like we've talked about, I mean, you're throwing 18-year-old kids with more testosterone than they know what to do with in these positions, and they have how they're growing up in our society. They have no concept of what that does to you and the type of shit that comes with it. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure it does. I can't say I know anybody personally, but I know that shit happens. I mean, you should that whole fucking pinup rage and shit that just comes with being fucking 19 years old and having a gun.
Man, I need some of that testosterone, man. They need to bottle that shit up and sell it on the market. I need some of that for real. Man, that's crazy.
Is there any comments or questions coming in through YouTube or Facebook or anything?
Oh, well, they was asking. We got my cousin on, Jack. He said, "Is my boys watching the Vols game?"
No, not right now. I'm not, because we're doing this. When we record alone, if the Vols are playing, so behind us, so you have this monitor here that which we didn't turn on tonight. I don't know why. I guess we had so much other shit doing, we just didn't do it. But there's a TV right above this one that you can't see in camera, and it's camera's positioned that way for a reason, because when we record alone, I will put the Vols on and mute it.
Yeah.
So and during the hockey playoffs, if the Predators are in the playoffs, I'll put that on too. But no, I'm not watching the Vols right now. What are the Jack? If you're still watching, what are they doing right now? That's, you said his name was Jack, right?
Yeah, Jack. He probably still watching. Then we got a lot of smiley faces in here.
So was Jack
saying something fun?
Was Jack the guy? You said he's your cousin, right? Is that what you said? Cousin? Was he the guy on with you and Easy last night?
Yep. That's all the Jackson boys, all three of us. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. What does Jack do? Because he said something about have me on last night. He said y'all need to have me on. So what?
Jack, he's a multi-talented guy now. He used to play for UT.
Really?
He's a recording artist. He got an album out. He do a lot. I ain't going to disclose everything he do. He do a lot. He do a whole lot.
Okay.
But he can have a good conversation with y'all guys.
Jack, if you're still listening,
he's on, man.
Hit us up. We'll have you on, especially if you want to come sit in here with us.
Yeah.
Hit me up and tell me what you like to drink.
Oh, he like Hennessy.
Hennessy?
He like
okay.
Hennessy, but that's too hard for me though.
Well, that's one thing we haven't drank on here yet, so that'll be good. So
y'all like brandy? Cognac, I mean.
I've had it in with something else before, but I don't think I've ever drank it alone. Like, I don't think I've ever had it straight or whatever. So
cognac is
I'll drink anything with alcohol in it at least once.
that's I think I'm about the same way.
Yeah. Let me check that score right quick then, since we're on the pod. Let me check that score. See if them boys winning, man, or they trash, man. Y'all ain't Tennessee football fans, though, are you?
Oh, I am.
I'm not.
Steven's not a football fan at all, really. I'm a Tennessee fan through and through. My daughter goes to UT. My youngest son went there for a year. And so, I'm a Tennessee fan. I bleed orange and white.
Oh, man. You bleed orange and white.
I bleed orange and white. I say that
Christ.
for Steven.
Dude, I had a baseball coach in high school that had a heart attack and he died. And we went back, and I shit you not, like, I was in my 20s. He was a baseball coach of mine in high school. I moved away. He later died. I came back. We went to the funeral. He was buried in a fucking UT jumpsuit, UT sunglasses on.
Jesus.
Right. UT tennis shoes, like the whole fucking outfit. They played Rocky Top before they started the funeral.
Oh my God.
The pastor giving the eulogy said, if you cut this man, he'd have bled orange. And then they played Rocky Top when they carried the casket out of the chapel.
Yeah.
And then they played Rocky Top when they dropped it in the ground.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. How's that? Like, could you imagine living your whole life and accomplishing whatever you've accomplished, and the only thing that you're like pressed to remember by is being a college football fan?
Right. What's the point of the sunglasses when your eyes are sewn shut? I'm not sure. I don't get that.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm from
That's cool.
Knoxville, and I love Tennessee, but I hate Tennessee at the same time. That football team,
they're a hard team to love. They really are.
They ain't gonna give me no high blood pressure.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that I'll yell at the TV sometimes and things like that. But at the end of the day, I don't live and die on whether Tennessee wins or loses. So
okay. So we speaking on entertainment now. Speaking on entertainment. Sport. I got 2 entertainment questions for y'all, but I'm gonna start off with this one. What's your favorite album or favorite artist that's out right now? What's your favorite artist?
Oh shit, that's a good fucking question.
Well,
I'm pulling it up for you right now.
Joey
doesn't listen to new music because
I don't listen to a lot of new music. I don't really listen. I listen to a lot of stand-up comedy and a lot of podcasts. But as far as music goes, the last time an artist kind of blew me away, for lack of a better term, is Childish Gambino. I love Childish Gambino.
Okay.
But I love everything that Donald Glover does. I think he's just a genius all the way around. His acting, his writing, his music. I mean, it's great. I mean, Atlanta's one of the best shows on TV when it's airing. I mean, it's great. But I think his lyrics are smart. It's one of those things. Like he's not going to win any versus competition or anything like that. I've heard him freestyle before on, I think it was with Sway or somebody like that, and he was insane. Like just his talent. But without having not listened to a lot of music, I would have to say Childish Gambino as an artist goes. But
okay,
I don't know.
That's a good one. That's a good one because he's talented. Childish Gambino is talented.
Yeah.
So for me, there's I grew up. I love a variety of musics,
Right.
But there's a couple bands I love growing up that have recently, like one band, their first album like 17 years.
Yeah.
And they're an old fucking punk rock band called Slick Shoes. They just dropped a new record about a month ago, and it's if you like that genre, it's really fucking good.
You should have played a piece of it, man.
Yeah, we don't want to get canceled.
Okay.
And there's a band called 4 Year Strong. They have a new album.
4 Year Strong is great.
And then Old 97s. They're an alt country band. They just released a new album that's really fucking good. The last, I'm trying to think. I think the last new hip hop album I listened to was the new Run the Jewels, the newest.
Oh my God, that was such a great album. I was on vacation. It's so good. It's so good.
But recently, that's been over the last like few weeks to months.
Sure.
Those have been the main ones. For
Goldfinger just released a new album, didn't they?
They released a single. Their album doesn't come out
okay.
next year.
Yeah, sorry.
Goldfinger though too. The reason I asked all that question though, cause would y'all go see those guys at a drive up concert?
No.
I think it.
No.
I don't know that I would go see a concert. Yeah, I don't know that I would go see a music concert. I might go see stand-up comedy at a drive-in.
Well, let me rephrase that. It depends on the band. Like I would go see, that's the Avett Brothers released a new record too. That's fucking fantastic. But I would see the Avett Brothers because that's not a get up, like in your face type of show. It's more of a chill, sit down type of thing. But I feel like certain elements of some live shows is just lost if you can't at least interact or kind of being in the crowd as part of that experience. Because the energy is much different between a seated audience or even a separated seated audience and somebody that's there in the sweat and the noise and it all mixes together. It's a completely different energy. How about you?
Me, if I had, I would go to a drive-in concert, but they would have to have live musicians or whatever. It'd have to be Jay-Z or somebody with a whole band out there.
Who is fucking fantastic live if you haven't seen him. Holy shit.
I haven't seen him live.
I've not seen him live either.
Tina Turner or somebody. The big wheels keep on.
Yeah.
Or talk about Nutbush City Limits. Have y'all been through Nutbush before?
No.
Yeah. Y'all know there's a Tennessee place outside of Memphis, probably 2-3 streets.
Yeah. So who would be your artist recently that you would say is your favorite right now?
But by the way, I still jerk off thinking about that Jay-Z show, just so you know, it's that good.
Oh man,
I love Jay-Z.
I heard he was a phenomenal live performer.
Well, earlier in the night, Stevie Wonder played, like Stevie Wonder and then fucking Jay-Z, and it was one of the goddamn most magical nights of my life.
Man, that's crazy.
Is that at Bonnaroo?
Yeah.
You spent a month's mortgage or month's rent or whatever you spent on getting in the place.
It was worth it though. Those two alone. I mean, then Eminem played the next night and just fucking tanked. He sucks so bad. But then there were a few other bands. Like I used to love Bonnaroo like a lot because there were so many good. Childish Gambino played one year. I missed that year. I was so mad. But I discovered a lot of cool bands there. But there are some. Oh my god, you realize. Well, one reason I love live shows, and I interrupted the question you had for Trevor, and I apologize, but
No, go ahead.
One thing I love about live music is you can really see who is really, really talented in the studio and who is generally all around a great musician. Yeah. And to me, like I have a lot more respect for people that can have the great studio records and the great live albums, as opposed to people that live performances, as opposed to people that just have good records and that suck live.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, there was a great band in the 90s, album wise. They're Everclear. They were, is that what they're Everclear? Yeah. I was thinking Everlast all of a sudden for some reason when you said
Fuck
Everclear.
Everlast.
Yeah, no, Everclear was a great. Their albums were great radio hits. But yes, they suck. They're so bad live. They couldn't reproduce it live, and it was just awful. So
anyway, your performer that you
who would you say then?
Me, I would want to see, my favorite movie of all time, The Goonies. So
okay.
I want to see Cyndi Lauper live.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite Cyndi Lauper song?
Good love for you is good love. Y'all know that song, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
I don't know that if you'd given me 100 bets that I would have bet Cyndi Lauper. I don't know that I would have bet that with 100 bets.
I'm
my
abnormal.
God.
I'm abnormal. I can't.
That's fine.
Yeah,
we like abnormal.
I like Cyndi Lauper. Now that's my girl.
That's awesome.
Cyndi. Hell yeah.
She was a nice looking lady back in the day.
Mm-hmm. With all the colors on her hair and everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my girl. Yeah. Right,
so speaking of betting, I said I wouldn't bet 100 bets. Would have got that. I know you're not in Tennessee, so I don't know what it's like in North Carolina, but we have now recently gotten it's legal to do sports betting now online in Tennessee. Do you guys have that in North Carolina? Is that legal, illegal, what?
I don't know because I don't, you know what I mean? I don't gamble. I haven't researched it or whatever, but I would be interested if I could find a way to get me some big bucks now. Somebody teach me something.
I got a couple of bets going on some NFL games tomorrow. So
North Carolina, you can fucking buy a lottery ticket with a debit card.
Sure.
Can't do it in Tennessee. No, that angers me that you can't do that here. You should be able to buy a fucking lottery ticket.
You should with a debit card. Yeah, you should be able to.
They got casinos here too, though. So I bet you probably can.
Yeah.
You play poker?
Nah, I don't play. I don't even know how to play pity pat, man. Just to be honest.
I'm sorry, you don't know how to play what?
Pity pat.
What the hell is pity pat? I've heard that term before, but I've never heard it called a game called pity pat.
I can't explain it to you, but it's a card game. It's a
I guess if you don't know how to play, you can't explain.
I
didn't think about that.
I grew up seeing the folks in the neighborhood with the St. Ides and the 8-ball, the Old English 800 playing pity pat for $1.25.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Have y'all ever played Tonk before? Or Tonk?
Yeah, I played Tonk. Yeah.
I like Tonk's all right. We used to play spades a lot. I love some spades. We used to play on the football bus on the way back from away games, or on the way to, I guess. On the way back, we didn't play, but yeah. But,
is that a high school thing, playing spades?
No, I don't think so. But I just remember that's where I learned how to play it on the school bus. We used to play one of the biggest shit talkers I've ever seen in playing spades was the pastor of the Church of God I went to in Pulaski. Yeah. He would take a card, lick it, and stick it to his head, and then like say it's a queen or whatever, he'd stick it to his head and say, "That's a bad woman right there. You don't want none of that." Yeah. He's the biggest trash talker I've ever seen playing cards.
That's correct. I'm gonna ask y'all something. Did y'all do this when y'all rode the school bus in school? So when I went to this high school, right, it used to be I can't say all white. It was more of a multicultural school, but it didn't have black people in it yet. Then when I went, they integrated.
So it was only a little multicultural.
Yeah, it was Indians, Chinese.
That's what they used to say. Lots of white people and a couple of Indians.
Yeah, a couple of Indians and Chinese and a lot of white folk.
Yeah.
So when they closed down the high school in the hood, they shipped us to West High School in Knoxville, right? The hood. So when we rode the bus with the richest people in the city. They would drop them off first, then drop us off in the hood. So when we integrated with them, we learned games. And I want to know if y'all played these games. We played pencil break and thumping the knuckles.
Yeah.
Yep. Bust knuckles.
Busting knuckles. Then
that's what we call it. Bust
each
knuckles.
Other in the knuckles and stuff like that. Y'all play those games? Yeah, y'all play them.
Okay. Yeah. Pencil. So we used to do this thing where we'd pull the eraser out of the pencil and we would bend the metal piece that held the eraser to where it came to a point. That way, when you flip it and hit the pencil, you might get a little bit of a cut in the pencil, and maybe could break their pencil quicker. Yeah, we played break pencil, whatever it was called, I don't know, and then bust knuckles.
Yeah.
We played another game with a quarter. I don't know if you
bloody knuckles.
Bloody knuckles?
Fuck that shit.
where you had to stick your hand down on the table like this or whatever, and the other person would take a quarter and with their hands would flick it at your knuckles as hard as they could, and you'd go until somebody bled, and that's that. If you the first person to bleed lost.
Wow.
Yeah,
Kids was crazy back in those days,
Yeah.
boy. We was wild.
Mhm.
yeah.
Come up with all kind of stuff to get entertained, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Smear the queer.
Hey,
Play that a lot in elementary school.
Hey, if anybody in the oh man, I was about to ask somebody in the comment section to tell me a game they played in high school, and my boy Jason Dip Faust, he said we used to play open chest.
What the hell is that? Open chest.
If you walking around the school, right, slipping, you just walking, you ain't paying attention to nobody, and your chest wide open, right? You just walk with your backpack on. Somebody might sneak you from the side and just hit you as hard as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Open chest.
The fuck was a circle game too?
Oh god, yeah, the circle game. I play that at work with people. We still do that. Nobody hits anyone, but we still play
That
that.
takes all the fun away.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
shit.
wild, man.
Did you ever play the circle game?
Now I don't remember. You gotta explain it to me.
So the whole point is to get someone to look at make this symbol, and you get someone to look at it. And if they look at it, then you get to slap them on the neck or
Punch them,
whatever your rules you set. Now, it's a little more complicated than that because it always has to be below their waistline or below your waist.
Yeah.
Like you can't hold it up here or whatever. It has to be below your waist. And then another rule that I heard added later on is when they do that, if you can reach and stick your finger through the hole before
it reverses.
It reverses before they remove it, then it reverses and you get to hit them.
Right.
Oh no, I don't remember that.
And, if you get your dick in it, they got to jerk you off.
So that gotta be a pencil-sized weenie now.
look who you're fucking talking to, man. Come on.
If that's pencil size, Jesus Christ.
That thing ain't got veins in it. That's small.
Oh shit.
Steven and his sister used to play a game where they say who could choke each other out. I've seen the two of them choke each other out before.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Choke session. Golly, y'all crazy, man.
They were homeschooled. They didn't have anything else to do.
Oh yeah, they was bored out their mind then.
Right.
Yeah.
That was
So you was
foreplay for them.
homeschooled your whole time, your whole school experience?
No, I was sixth grade through 12th grade.
Okay.
So
But
good
that's
chunk. Yeah.
that's a lot though.
But in all fairness, I mean, granted, I'm fucked up enough as it is, but we we always played sports. We were always out. Like we weren't like the Christian kids stuck in the closet, type of shit. Like my two best friends all went to public schools and all that shit. So like it wasn't just like locked up at home. And I thought it was awesome because we'd be done with school like fucking noon, and like I had to wait for my friends to get home from work.
Every homeschool person I know is a little bit weird.
Oh, I can spot I can spot a homeschool kid in the crowd.
A lot of my friends that I went to church with were homeschooled, so I can spot them too. But the only thing about homeschool that Steven has is that his handwriting fucking sucks.
Oh,
that's a trait of a homeschool person.
Yeah.
And a serial killer.
Yeah.
How did you learn
how to interact with women?
What's
That's
that?
the years I learned how to interact with women. 6th and 12th
His mom
grade.
taught a class.
Yeah.
That's when I learned how to interact with women.
That's where I learned. His mom. That's watered down.
But that was my first Eiffel Tower.
That's right.
you and your mom.
Y'all boys crazy, man. Y'all boys.
Well, no,
crazy,
okay.
Man.
So we were pretty heavy in church. So whatever awkward youth group, church camp shit was there, but really it was. And after I got divorced for the first time, was in the military. Like I was kind of a really late bloomer. Like I saved myself for marriage until my first marriage when I was like in 20 when I got married.
Loser.
Right.
You were 19 or 20, yeah.
Your penis never got moisturized until you put on a wedding ring.
No,
not by anyone other than him.
Right. Yeah. No, never once, man, until after I got married, and like it wasn't worth it. I can whatever, but after all that shit fell apart, but like very heavily religious, all that stuff.
Okay.
And after went through all that, but then we ended up going got divorced, and then I was in the military, and I was like, oh, there's a whole world of things going on. And then after the second divorce, then all those skills I had learned over the years kind of came into fruition, and then I got married again. So
Hey, that's correct. I got a question. Do y'all got a call-in number for y'all show?
Yeah, sure. It's 754.
Let me put it on the
go ahead.
screen right quick, so people, if they want to call in, they can call in on the show, man.
Yeah, it's 754 call B3F. That's 2255233.
Hold on. I'm editing it right now.
all right.
754
2255233.
225. Oh Lord, I don't know how to. 754 2255
233.
Looks like Elroy Jenkins thought the moisturized comment was funny.
Yeah, the penis
Yeah.
never got moisturized.
Never got moisturized.
2233.
2255233.
Okay.
2 2s, 2 5s, 1 2, 2 3s. If that wasn't confusing enough. So anyway,
Either one of you guys ever try to suck your own dick?
yes.
Yeah,
wow. just to see if you could do it.
I never been that healthy. Like I always had a little gut where I couldn't get to it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
me too.
I wouldn't attempt it to though. That takes a skill.
I didn't because I was worried. I was worried if I did that I would be gay. Like that's honest to God.
Yeah.
It's like but like I had a buddy of mine. He always talked about the stranger. When you sit on your left hand until it goes to sleep, or your right hand until it goes to sleep, and then you jerk off with it. And he was like, yeah, it totally feels like somebody else's hand. I was like, yeah, but it also feels like somebody else's dick. And he was like, fuck you, it ruined it for me.
Man.
People always joke about the stranger, but that's the thing. It might feel like somebody else's hand, but it also feels like somebody else's dick. So,
oh, hey, here we go. Somebody's calling.
Lord.
I bet this is Troy. Give me just a second here.
Call in.
Hey, everybody. We'd like to take a minute to tell you about a really cool podcasting app called Stitcher Premium.
Yeah, Stitcher Premium is, like you said, a free app, and they've got everything you could look for: true crime, comedy, pop culture, The Office ladies. I think Conan O'Brien's podcast is on there. There's lots of things on there.
And archives of all those things.
Oh, yeah. And smart lists.
Yeah, the smart list. That's what I was about to say, you fuck. Smart lists basically will watch what you're listening to, or listen to what you're listening to, use some fancy algorithms, and make recommendations on shit that you already like.
Yeah, so if you go to Stitcher.com/premium and use the code B3F, you can get a month free. So it's $4.99 a month, or $34.99 if you pay for a full year. But use the code B3F and you'll get a free month.
Check it out.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
You are on the show with Trevor Jackson and B3F.
What up, though?
This is Troy.
This is Troy Smith. What's up with you guys?
What
man?
is up, Troy? How's it going?
You got Trevor acting very weird tonight.
Oh yeah, what's so weird about Trevor tonight?
Acting very white guys. He put out all his white guy stuff.
How dare you?
I've done that. Have you guys ever put a cucumber on your back? Why it was cold?
Not on my back, no.
No,
or down your crack or something. Yeah.
Classic bacon wrapped around it. Raw bacon.
Bacon wrapped around
my white friends at work, when you with your white friends at work, be like, hey, Troy, let me ask you something. Have you ever had your wife put her finger in your butt before? I'm like, whoa. No, I've never done that before.
Yes, I have.
You have?
No, see, look, they look at you weird and be like, you never done that? Then you say, no. Like, oh, okay. Well, man, let me tell you about it.
Why haven't you done that, Troy? That's something that's interesting. You're supposed to try things.
Boy, you'll get, man, if you say that out loud, you'll get in trouble for that. People looking at you weird.
You're supposed to get fisted in the gym.
You see how y'all got Trevor? Y'all see how y'all got Trevor acting weird?
Trevor said you're supposed to get fisted. Oh my God!
I remember when my wife and I first got married. So you know how you do you do the what you call that? When the guys go out.
Oh, the bachelor party. Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you say? The what?
Bachelor party.
Yeah, the bachelor party.
Yeah.
So we went out to, when you not really into the club scene, it's kind of weird. Your guys don't know what to do for you. They don't go get no strippers. They don't have nobody jump out of cake. Because I had a whole lot of church guys with me. So it's kind of weird to, man, we're going to get you towed up tonight. It's kind of weird. So we went to this little club and we see these two gay women there. They looked at me like, what y'all doing tonight? We're like, man, we just kicking it. And they said, my boy getting married tonight.
Okay.
And the gay girl said, man, you supposed to be at the house getting your butt blowed. I'm like, what is getting your butt blowed?
What is that?
And my wife's like, I told my wife about that. She's like, what is that? That's when you get your booty literally, they call it tossing your salad on. Like, that's the normal thing now. Guys getting ate out a lot like it's normal. Like,
it is.
Hey, you want me to lick your butt? She's like,
yes.
What? No.
Oh, I thought you were offering. I'm sorry. That was not the you were saying.
Yeah. Well,
but go ahead.
People try sexual things nowadays. Sexual things is everybody tries everything now. Everything is open for discussion.
No.
Yeah.
I see.
They be asking, like, hey man, your wife, you mind if I do it with your wife? Like, no. We don't do that, It's weird.
Troy is stereotyping people today because I saw because he said Trevor's acting white earlier.
Let me tell y'all, look, and then y'all trying to get your black bag in, like, yeah, man, I love the Childish Gambino. Like, that's the most whitest rapper.
You're right. He is. You're right. He is. But he's the most talented out there, all the way around. He's the most talented guy out there, like all the way.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it. Then my boy Steve talking about he's going to jack off the Jay-Z freaking live. Oh my God, the Jay-Z show was awesome. Like, what the?
I just can't get into any of the new guys. I just can't get into any of the new.
I will say Kendrick Lamar winning a fucking Pulitzer. Fuck that guy. That's some bullshit.
Oh yeah,
just throwing that out there.
Winning a what?
He won a Pulitzer a few years ago.
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
Damn.
Well,
talking about the music.
Was it a Pulitzer?
Yeah, he won the Pulitzer.
Wow.
Kendrick crazy, man.
So what I'm saying about Troy stereotype people earlier.
Troy's calling out some shit, by the way. I love this. Has been the greatest phone call ever.
So Troy said there was a comment on the two of you do a podcast together on Saturday mornings at 10 Central, 11 Eastern, called the Two Brothas Podcast. And I regularly, yeah, no problem. I regularly listen. I was getting ready to go today, and I had it planned while I was getting ready, and you guys played the front runner for your new theme song.
Lord,
and so I commented earlier, I'm telling you, that is straight. That theme song is straight shit. First off, that theme song is straight shit. Even my wife sitting in the living room, she's like, yeah, that didn't sound good. So anyway, I commented on your Facebook post earlier, and I said, are you, because you asked if anyone has anything better, and I said, are you wanting just vocals or whatever? And Troy comments and says, let me guess, you thinking about some kind of rock or something, aren't you? How dare you? How dare you stereotype me like that?
But Steve, no, this is not Steve. I'm sorry. Joey.
Yeah.
Recognize I came back with Tower.
You
Though.
did. You did.
Yeah, I can't. Now that's white, blackish mixture, but funk.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I came back with a little bit of that.
I got
that's almost like that. It's almost like a white guy saying, "Hey, but I got best friends that's black." Right?
Yeah. How can I be racist?
How can I? Come on, I listen to rap all the time.
Steve, have you heard that jingle?
No.
Yeah, no. Yes, you did. You hit. I heard
a little bit. Yeah, I heard just a smidge.
That shit right there. I can't.
No. First of all, we have to give the dude that's singing this. So he did exactly what I told him to do. I said, look, man, we want to sound soulful. So I sent them the song of Willie Hutch. See, what happened is we play that Willie Hutch song like you guys understand too. Once you play a song long enough, or don't put we don't own the rights crap or whatever, they're gonna shut your show down.
Yeah.
No one sees it. So Trevor and I both are creators. We're like, man, why we need to do that? We could just reach out to somebody and we can make it ourselves or get someone to make it for us. But so I wish I reached out to a producer. And he made it, and it is what it is.
No. Let me say this.
And then
I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. This was my opinion on it. And I said this to Joey. He can back me up. I didn't think it was terrible or bad. It did not fit what you guys do.
No, I don't think.
If you guys had like a more of a gospel-esque talking about church things or whatever, then it would be fucking perfect. It would have been a great fit for that. But what you guys do, it didn't fit.
Yeah, that's too.
Look, Joey and Steven and the white Trevor know this too. As long as you hear something, long enough, after a while it's gonna be catchy. Like I used to hate 2 Chainz music.
Okay,
it's terrible. I mean, I heard a lyric that said, "I wish somebody would like a kitchen cabinet." I'm like, what the heck is that? And now all of a sudden, I listen to 2 Chainz all the time now. Every once in a while, I listen to, but as you hear something catchy and something that's annoying enough to be like, oh, that's my song. That song that stays stuck in your head. Have you listened to the edited version? We put out the rough draft. Did you listen to the edited version?
I did. That's what I played for Steven. Actually, I played in both versions, but yes, I did. It's still bland as shit. It's too bland for you guys. And what it sounds like is that you're telling me it's your fault that it sounds bland because you reached out, you said how you wanted it to sound.
Now, this is what I thought it sounded like. I thought it sounded like 2 tramps and an old man on the corner standing in front of a burning fire thing, one of them little burning fire trash cans, singing for nil.
Like on New Jack City.
Yeah. That's what it sounded like. Brother's gonna work it out.
But let me tell you, he did exactly what we asked him to do. He did that. I tell you what, like I told everyone else on there, though, if you think you can do something better, by all means, send us something. We're going to play it and see what we like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so the music of it sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy part.
No, the music sounds good. The music is funky, but the vocals for sure.
Y'all just need to add you some electric guitar, man. It'd be good.
If you're gonna use that, then someone needs to edit it and bring the vocals down a touch, for sure.
Well, guess what? I have the stems. I send it to you. You can mix it and all that stuff.
Now we need a new beat too, and that's a part of it. It ain't got no.
Yeah,
here's what I want to know. I want to know this, Troy. What did you think about our intro music that we played today?
I was going to ask you. Did y'all make it yourself?
Yeah.
Yes. I
like it.
I made it, and then Steven did the post-production magic on it.
Guess what? Yes, the classical white guy come in, Jim Rogan type. I like it. Yeah.
Jim Rogan.
Who is Jim Rogan?
Yeah, I'm not sure who Jim Rogan is.
I know what he's talking about. Tell you what, man.
Yeah, I like how it come in.
Yeah.
Just got to make sure you hit record so we know we're recording.
That's right.
That's
I did this time, you dick.
Gotta make sure we record. But I want to ask y'all a question, though.
Yep.
Come here, guys. I want to ask y'all a question.
Okay, talk to him.
Now, this is for Steven and Joey.
Thank you.
So, Trevor going to come in and chime in on it. But my question is this. What do you all think of other genres not bothering with the whole living your lyrics style like rap music? I don't hear no one, like we talked about this morning, Taylor Swift, talking about, she ain't living her lyrics out. She ain't real street. She ain't real. I know the country people used to be upset with her when she first came out.
Some people say they ain't real rock.
Yeah, well, but what I'm saying is, but do people, Joey and Steven, do people care about in the genre of classical rock or not? To my man, you're not really living that life. You ain't out there with them whores. You're not out there smoking ganja and all that other stuff. Or do they be like, hey, that's great music?
That's a good question, actually.
That is a good question. It doesn't bother me.
Troy's like, goddamn right, it's a good question.
Depending on what depending on what they're singing about, it might be like, oh, good and goddamn well, you're not any part of that. I mean, but it doesn't. But I mean, I can't think of any current rock though that is portraying something or talking about a life that they live that they don't.
Let me help you out there.
I mean, because back in the 70s, I think that they for sure were doing the shit. I mean, we'll pick you up in my Chevy van. I'm gonna fuck you by the river, but I'm gonna drop you off in the middle of town. I think, fucking yeah, they were doing that shit back then. Yeah. So,
well, let me ask you: do y'all remember Insane Clan Posse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
would you expect the Inside Clan clown to be doing that out in public? What they talked about, or did y'all like, oh man, dude, what a jerk! He actually killed that guy.
I don't like Insane
You know
Clown
what I'm
Posse, so no.
But,
I mean, I don't.
No, I mean, because some of it's. I feel like that shock value in music is much more of a white person thing, saying shit just to be shocking. I mean, take Eminem, for example, if you want to go in the rap vein. Like, he says some shocking shit just to be fucking shocking.
Right.
It depends on what you're listening to, though, because a lot of the stuff I listen to, the guys are pretty, they're musicians and artists, so they're little bitches, right? So half the shit they're crying about some girl leaving them, it's, hyperbole, but it's, whatever. But I think that the expectation is different, right? Because where hip hop came from, or rap came from, were dudes off the fucking street that they were talking about their struggles and talking about the shit that was going on. White people haven't been in that position for ever. Like fucking Elvis in the 50s were stealing people's shit. So
yeah,
the same expectation to live those things out have never been there. No. Like Joey said, you had the 70s and 80s with those crazy metal bands that they were absolutely raping people with fucking sharks and shit. They were doing some crazy shit, but I don't think the expectation has ever been there for white people to live that out. And so there's not the same amount of, well, they're not really.
They look at it as so you're saying they look at it as entertainment. What you're saying?
Yeah,
for the most part.
But on the flip side of that, how many modern rap artists, not counting like the bitches and limos and shit, but how many of them would you honestly say came out of the streets, fucking like?
Oh man,
hey,
there's more now.
No. I'm talking about comparatively to fucking like Ice-T, these guys that were selling crack and like legit killing motherfuckers and like hardcore off the streets.
Yeah,
comparatively speaking.
But can you really say, Trevor? Can you really say that Ice-T really was that Ice-T when we watched him on Breaking? A B C D. Come on, y'all, now dance with me. Have you seen Ice-T on Breaking before?
No, but I'm talking about background, like verifiable shit, arrest records, all that stuff prior to being famous. A lot of the shit they were.
He's supposed to have been a pimp and a crip or whatever though, but the times was different back then. Now
they absolutely were.
Yeah, you got to really shoot somebody, and you know what I mean.
You got to shoot somebody now.
If I was a Ice-T, I don't know if his pimping is solidified because he married. What's the woman name he married?
Coco.
Coco. Yeah.
Was she really profitable enough for me to stop pimping?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And again,
she's not good looking.
And again, like I am absolutely showing my lack of knowledge of the rap and hip hop world for sure. But I'm just saying, like, dudes, from what I've seen, like guys like out of NWA were way more hardcore in their younger years than a lot of modern fucking hip hop artists are that are coming out of the suburbs. You're
out of touch, Steven.
I may be, and I'm willing to admit that. I'm asking.
Hey, Trevor, tell them they just had 4 rappers just getting shot last week.
Well, I'm not saying
Wild Wild West.
No. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I just meant comparatively the amount of. And again, I might be out of touch. That's why I'm asking you, because I truly don't know.
All right, so do you think that there people in that genre rap right now are getting shot now because these people are from the streets or whatever you want to call it, or
they gotta prove it.
That's what I was going to say. Or do you think that they have to back up what they're saying and they're not really like that, but now they've painted themselves into a corner and they have to act it out?
Yeah,
because you have people that did it and then got into the rap game. NWA, some of those older groups, Ice-T, some of those that were legitimately in the streets doing that kind of shit, and then they started rapping about it. But now you have people that are rapping about it, and it's like, well, shit, I guess I got to kill this guy. So,
my thought process also is that these people are not musicians. They're just trying to clean up and change their lifestyle by making music. They're really like people from the ghetto and gangbangers and drug dealers. They are not musicians. They just come from that life trying to transform their life so they can make some money and not have to do that anymore.
Do you really think that they're trying to transform their life and not have to do that, or do you think that it's just marketing?
That's the same. It's one of the same.
It's a good boxing match, like you're saying.
Well, I'm just saying, like, are you trying to clean up your life and not have to be in the drug game anymore? Or are you going to be famous enough that more people want to buy from you?
They're trying to clean their life up.
It seems like now,
absolutely.
But I see it seems like now that if they, unfortunately, if you don't portray that, nobody's gonna take you serious. Well, Trevor and I just got through watching one of them versus battle. Y'all probably don't heard about the versus battle too with Young Jeezy and Gucci Man.
I didn't hear about it until you guys talked about it last night. That's how wide I am.
And they had 5 million people watching that at one time. And but that's cool. That's good because that lets you know that the hip hop culture is big or whatever. But the whole world is not paying attention to the streets. It's more people in the United States that is clueless about the street.
Oh, absolutely.
The people that's in the street.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's always going to be the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's going to take the time. What's what we talked about earlier. Nobody wants equality. Everybody wants the upper hand or whatever the case may be. And so the people that are not in that, like, you have people that are champions of what the fuck ever, but really, like Troy just called me out for, like, I'm out of touch with a lot of this shit. And I absolutely am, like, because it's not in my wheelhouse. It's not even in my bubble of awareness. Right. And it's not that I don't give a shit about it. It's just that it doesn't fucking cross my mind in my tiny little bubble.
Yeah.
And that's across the board.
Like affirmative action.
Ha!
Right.
See, like affirmative action. Like affirmative action is that everything starts out with the idea of doing something right.
Right.
Like having someone there to be able to have representation, like in a banking industry. I'm a banker. So we have something called community reinvestment.
Yep.
If we're going to have branches in certain areas of low to moderate income areas, and we're not ever there representing, and have no representation there, we're not doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we actually try to go out and actually make sure we got people that represent in that area. Same thing with affirmative action. It may have started out strong, which it has a great idea behind it. If we want to go out and actually as a brand branch out to reach many people, we got to have some type of representation there for them to say, hey, I trust that brand.
Yes.
I trust them.
Well,
that makes sense now. So since they're there, that makes sense. But if they don't have no representation there, I'm not going to trust it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, never mind. What I was going to say was,
say what you're going to say. But if it's not in your wheelhouse, though, you're not faced with it. You won't know how impactful it really is.
No. What I was going to say is agreeing with you. It was just a different sort of subject matter, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to add to the conversation.
Say it.
No. I was just going to say I agree with you because my wife works for a school in an area that's more lower income. It's a charter school, but and it's a lottery. You get into that school by lottery, so it doesn't matter how much you make or how little your family makes. It doesn't matter. You have just as much chance of getting into school. And so we had talked about going into some lower income areas and trying to reach out to some people and help I don't know, clean up an area, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. That maybe that sounds I don't know, degrading.
That poor guy, white guy's got it tough, boy. You can't say nothing.
You can say whatever you want to say.
You can come to what I'm saying. You can say whatever you want. Sadly, y'all can't say nothing without having to really gauge and think about if you don't want to be called out.
Well, it's not just that, but is it at what point? What am I saying? At what point is what I'm saying going to be called white saviorism? But my wife and I had talked about this and whatever, and one thing she said to me was that whatever community, if we decide to do this, which Corona kind of shut a little bit of this down, like the ability to be able to do this, was she said the people in that community, regardless of race, have to know they can trust you. So it may take 3, 4, 5 times going into that community before they start to trust you, so that you can help them in whatever way, whether it's cleaning up the neighborhood or whatever it is. So I say all that, like I said, it's taking away from the conversation, but I say all that to say I agree with what you're saying as far as representation in a community having to trust whoever it is that's going into that community.
I'm gonna give you a little olive branch here to help you out too. Believe it or not, Trevor, correct me if I'm wrong. People in the African American community or in the project in the city you try to reach out to may trust you more than they trust me when I first come in.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. Because automatically, what media has taught us all, and the perception of people, they will automatically have to give me the full 411 of making sure that I'm eligible to say what I'm going to say. I'm qualified.
Yeah.
I had a friend. Think about it. Stephen said he was a part of ministry at one time with his family when he was in church all the time. I have friends, and I played at churches. I've been part of mission trips. People have actually gone on mission trips overseas, right?
Yep.
My guy, who's a nurse practitioner, went overseas to some place in Africa. Africa is a continent, so don't ever say Africa is a country, right? Africa is a continent. I can't remember where they went. And the black people, the Africans there, looked at the white person who wasn't even a doctor, and looked at him more than the other person. Then they looked at my person that was there to actually help them with their medical.
Yeah.
They trust the white guy first before they even give the black guy the opportunity. Until the white guy messes up, that's when people come back and say, "Hey, can you fix this?" And sadly, so when you go down there as a charter school and stuff, people actually say, "Oh, we got this white guy coming." You don't want to be the white savior, but at times they look at, if you coming, it must be something actually going to happen. Compared to if I'm coming, I got the money.
Yeah.
You know, I got the money to do. I used to be on the board of a charter school, so we used to have to go down and actually do canvassing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And if I took a white guy with me at times, we would be accepted or received quicker if I would have went with two black people. Trevor, am I right or wrong?
Now you're talking about the black community has different areas too, though.
Yeah, they have. I'm going down to the poorest of poorest. I'm going to Sea Hills right now.
You going to the school or you going to the projects?
I'm going down to the projects. I'm going to Sea Hills right now to go tell them about my new charter school. How do you think my reception may end up being?
How's it going to help me? That's how they're going to perceive it from you. And I don't mean to be wrong when I say this to the B3F boys, because I love them. And they're going to ask you, how is it going to help? They're going to tell you, Troy, how is what you doing going to help me before I rob you? Because you ain't got no money. If you ain't spending no money.
Is that all that?
Well, I'm pulling this pistol out. You better get up out of here because that shit ain't going to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the B3F boys come down there, they're going to be like, what y'all want? Y'all got some money to spend? They don't give a shit about what nobody got to offer. They just want some money to better themselves to get up out of that. Basically, I don't even see color when I'm in the hood, because the hood thought process is, what you doing for me now? Immediately.
I'm automatically, but you're getting sized up though as a black. First of all, we got a whole different thing, and then we're gonna get off of it because we'll rail this off. You got a whole different objective when a black guy come into place, like you said. First of all, do you have money before I might end up robbing you? And then they're going to ask you, why you drive? See, I got to think twice when I drive down there. I can't drive my certain car down there. I got to drive my Quelly down there. Remember the Quelly car? Yeah, I can't drive a nice one.
Now, you can't drive your nice one if you're not known in the neighborhood.
What's your nice car? What's the nice car? Go ahead, Brad. What you got? Oh, okay.
I'm not bragging, but I can't. See, it's like when I used to go down to mentor kids, I had to be careful of what car I was driving at the time. To me,
yeah,
because it's automatically going to be a thought of a size. Like, what the heck is that dude doing here? Like you said, Trevor said, if they don't know you, I'm going to be sized up off the top.
Yeah.
If a white dude may drive in there, they might actually give you just a little thought process first, because if you shoot a white dude, the police actually might be coming down there. That makes sense. I'm just being quite.
No, I got you. Yeah.
No, Troy. I think you might be disconnected a little bit from the hood as of recent. They gonna try to sell them some shit, or they gonna run from them.
Okay. I get it.
Can I interject on this just for a second?
Yes, sir.
So I feel like us as human beings, especially Americans, like we convolute and we fucking mix race. And I understand that it's a lot of racial issues, but humans are fucking humans. They're gonna trust whoever they think's gonna help them the most. In American fucking culture, white people tend to be the ones that show up as these white saviors with money to do blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But to take race out of the equation, people are inherently fucking selfish and they want to do the best thing they can do for themselves, regardless of race, creed, culture, what the fuck ever. Whatever they think is going to benefit them is what they're going to do. Period. End of story. Across the board.
And that's why you think politically like you do, right?
To a degree, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there absolutely are racial issues. I'm not negating any of that stuff, but like we were just talking about music a minute ago about, things being in the wheelhouse, things being not. And again, that's in a realm of understanding where musicians are coming from. But you don't have to be of a particular color, race, whatever, to be able to think about things logically on a grand scale. And I might be out of touch to a certain point of racial issues in America because they don't affect me.
Me too. I am.
Right. Well, because they don't affect me in certain ways, but I do know fucking people, and I know how people work, and I know that very, very well. And humanity supersedes social upbringing or racial upbringing every fucking time. And we're all selfish. We're all self-destructive. Like, all we want is power and to have the upper hand over other people. And any issues that we have are molded and shaped by where we grow up as a society, racially, culturally, whatever the case may be, but they all revolve around that base human desire to excel, to succeed, and to be better than the people around us. All of it stems from
I'll tell you one thing. UT don't care about no freaking body because he sucks. Okay? UT don't care about my feelings.
Yeah.
They don't care. They just freaking got beat again.
Well,
I think they're selfish.
I got $20 on them
for their own good.
They ain't gonna win another football game.
All I know is if you can't fit a cucumber in your butthole, I don't give a shit what you have to say.
Okay.
My last thing before I get off. I gotta say before I get off here. Go ahead, Trevor. You about to say it. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was about to talk about animal porn.
Oh God! I'm gonna get off. I'll let y'all get into bestiality, but I got one last thing to say is that this. You can tell you guys don't know them Steven and Joey in regard how important spades is, how critical spades is.
Oh yeah,
because you know how you said, Joey, you'd be on the bus playing spades. Oh man, it was freaking fun. Spades is not liked.
No, hold on. Wait. Before you say anything, I don't know. There's people that's been shot over spades before. I know how important spades is. People have been shot over, families split up. Yes, no, I know how important spades is. I absolutely get it.
Spades is freaking like somebody coming to the house. You want to play spades? No. That's one of those you play with the family friends.
If you even look like if you look like you wink at your partner, somebody's fixing to come upside your head. Like, like spades is some serious shit. So I get how important it is. I'm just
you gotta be careful out there. The spade. There was Steven, the back of my boy Steven. I played the choke game with my crazy white friends in the suburbs before myself because they get on top of you. Say, hey man, you wanna play this choke game? What is that? So you get on. They literally close your air hole on your neck, and you pass out. You pass out. You're like, oh, that was fun. Like, what the heck is that about? You lose a brain cell.
I think you're a victim of a hate crime, man.
You think that's probably because guess what? I was the only black dude there too in high school. Like, yeah, let's play this choke game. Like, it could have been bad.
Explain to them.
But man, I appreciate y'all, man.
Explain to them pity pat before you go, Troy. Explain to them pity pat because I don't know how to play cards. Pity
pat. If I can remember back in the day, because you played like 5 cards. And then you got like the deuces can be wild, so it can be like pair with any other card where you matching 2 cards, what they call books or whatever, just like, but you matching 2 cards up. So like a 5 of spades with a 5 of clubs, something like that. And then or if you got 2s or ace, they can be wild, so they can be an ace and a 2, and you just pairing them up. You want to make sure you pair all your books up first before someone else do.
Okay. And you pair up the whole 52 cards.
Yeah, then you got cards. So every player gets 5 cards, and you put the rest of the cards in the middle, and then you flip over one, and then if you can see if you got a match in your hand or something like that.
Like
I ain't played it so long.
Rummy. It sounds like Tonk or Rummy.
Yeah, just like Jim Rummy, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
It's like it's like checkers compared to chess. Like so, Tonk is like is the chess of pity pat to me.
Oh, see, chess. You're talking my game now.
See, all I know is he said pity pat, and I was thinking something way more sexual than what he just described to me. Yeah,
I bet
absolutely.
you would.
Yeah. Hey.
I appreciate y'all letting me call in, man. I just had to call in and mess with y'all, man. But appreciate y'all.
Hey, man,
we need to come on with us sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, appreciate you calling us in and calling us out and making us feel like douchebags. I appreciate that.
Love.
Take my white saviorism and go home, I guess. All right, Troy just hung up. Anybody else wants to call in? Please.
We got the number scrolling at the bottom. Call in and talk to the B3F boys and talk to the Trevor Jackson. You know, just talk to me.
You have to talk to your boy, man, about hijacking the podcast. What the fuck with I'm just
hijack the podcast. Talking about he can't drive the Audi through the project. Them boys riding Lamborghinis through the projects. They just don't know. They don't know him. That's why, you know what I mean. Them boys driving Lamborghinis and Porsche trucks and all kind of things in the projects nowadays.
Oh man.
But, okay.
He did bring up some good points. Like legitimately, I always love being called out for some shit. It's always some good conversation. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. No, he said liking Childish Gambino is the whitest thing.
It is pretty white. It's kind of like people like white dudes are like, man, I fucking love Kanye.
So here's why. All right. So here's why I like Childish Gambino. I liked Donald Glover before I knew about his alter ego, whatever you're gonna call it, Childish Gambino.
Community, baby.
Yeah. Community. It's one of the greatest shows ever. If you don't sleep on Community, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
But his Childish Gambino's lyrics, and I'm sure I'll say this, and then Troy will call back and go, "What the fuck are you talking about?" No.
Yeah.
I just as an example, I love bitches, I love pussy, man. I should be running PETA. That's a fucking great line.
Yeah.
His lyrics make you think. Steven has walked away to the bar top. Were you trying to find some liquor? He said, "Oh, Steven's brought out the Irish."
Oh, hell.
He just finished off a bottle.
He gonna gain an extra underarm hair after drinking that.
Yeah, he needs to. He's waxed himself.
You ever drink whiskey out of a martini glass?
I have not. I'm a man.
Oh yeah, you bougie. You bougie. Bougie.
Oh, okay.
Quit justifying your whiteness there, Joey.
Right.
Yeah, boy, it's crazy, man.
Oh man, no, you know, one of the things actually, because you've listened to our shit before. We talk about fucking whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it's really fun to have a conversation where people will call us out for some bullshit. Like that's one reason we enjoy talking to you and Troy so much,
right?
Yeah.
Because we have our opinions on shit and we talk about stuff, but to have like Troy come in and just bust our fucking balls, like that was just it's a great thing. Like we love it so much.
Well, it's also that's a big thing that Steven and I are big proponents.
And most of our guests are fucking stupid, so it's nice to have smart people on here.
Steven and I are big proponents of anyone who will bust anyone's balls for anything, but especially ours, and call you out for if you believe whatever you believe enough to bust somebody's balls and for lack of a better term, educate somebody on it. Like we can hang out. Like I'm perfectly fine with that. Even if I continue to disagree with you, like I'm perfectly fine with hanging out and being friends with someone that I disagree with. Whoever said you had to completely agree with everyone you converse with or hang out with is insane. Yeah. So
you won't have to agree. You can't agree with your woman all the time, let alone just a person that you have a conversation with. I like when I don't agree with somebody because I can see where the temperature's going.
Yeah. Well, it's rare as things have evolved to be able to have a disagreement in a conversation without it being this giant fucking ordeal. You know what I mean? Like, we can't talk about this shit. You're wrong. And like, there's so many names that get thrown around. Like as soon as you disagree with someone,
bigot, racist, Nazi.
Well, even outside of that, fascist, fucking socialist, on both sides of the equation, like if you're a fucking Trumper, everybody's a fucking socialist or whatever the case may be. If you're a Democrat, everybody's a racist or a bigot. It's ridiculous.
The people a Trumper,
right?
Yeah. Do y'all see that comment on the screen?
So is that Dip C2C? I don't know who that is, but so we live in Knoxville. I'm from Pulaski, Tennessee. Steven's from Fayetteville,
but I'm originally from my mama's pussy.
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah, you're born in school.
Right.
Yeah.
No, so we live in Knoxville. That's where we're broadcasting out of. So
okay.
I'm born in Cali.
Oh yeah,
I was born in California.
My bad. I forgot you from the streets of Cali. My bad,
dude. Apple Valley's the desert. It's where
do you ride surfboards? Did you ever ride on a surfboard?
I was super little when we moved, so no. But when I was living in Hawaii, I did a little bit, but I was fucking awful and never got good at it. And there's no place like living Hawaii. One thing about that is everybody's so outdoors. So many like amazingly like good looking people that are there. Like unless you have a 6-pack, you just feel like shit about yourself every time you go outside. So I went a couple times. I was like, God damn, I look like shit. I'm not coming out here anymore.
Hey, I see you, Elroy. I appreciate the follow, man. We appreciate the follow. Elroy just followed us on Instagram. I appreciate it. And
that's my guy,
Dip. Who is Dip C2C? Do we know who that is?
Yeah, that's another one of my partners, man. Dip, he a
So,
cool guy. Man.
If you think we're wild, you need to listen to us. We
Yeah.
release
Listen to
an
that
episode.
podcast.
Now
We
we're
release
just
an episode every
whores
Monday.
at this point.
That's it. We just
Yeah,
every
right.
Monday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern, we release an episode. Sometimes we're crazy like this, and sometimes we're a little more serious.
See, we
I
had
do
to
have a
get
question
crazy.
since we're kind of railroading every fucking thing between
Sure.
me and Troy. Just Trevor's not getting a chance to.
No, but still, we just talking. I like freestyling.
No, I got
Sure.
I got a question for you though. Like it brought this up. I was thinking when Troy called in, he was giving us shit about trying to play our black cards, and he was giving you shit about playing your white card.
Mhm.
Do you feel like when you talk to us or other, I guess that you have to have at least a base level of, lack of a better word, whiteness to, I guess, to keep conversation going? Like, where do you personally feel sitting there?
What I tell you, I was on the first time we did a podcast,
Republicrat.
and I told you I was a black nigga.
Yeah.
Oh
you
yeah,
did.
Black Neck.
You
I
did.
forgot about Black Neck.
But I was
I'm a
just
black-
asking, as far as coming on, if there's any underlying there. Like I said, because Troy called in just to be a dick. I get that. And
He was
succeed-
educating
and
you.
he succeeded. But
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Troy and I were educating you. That's all that was.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
look, while you guys discuss this, I got to run to the bathroom real quick. These Appletinis are running through
Thank
me.
God.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like me, I'm from Knoxville, man. I'm a real country boy. So at
Right.
the end of the day, I know how to communicate. I grew up around majority white guys, even though I'm from the projects, I'm from the hood or whatever. But every time I went outside the hood, I got a lot of white friends, like
Right.
a lot of white friends. So I ain't acting. I don't do no acting at the end of the day. I'm cool.
No, I
played
got you.
pencil break. You know what I mean? Went over to white dude's house and drunk. What I first drunk with my white guys. What's the German drink? The green drink?
Jägermeister?
Jägermeister.
Oh,
was
fuck that shit, man.
straight.
Oh,
Now they drink it with energy drinks and shit, but we used to drink it straight.
Yeah.
At the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time I ever got super shit faced with all the Jaeger, and I couldn't smell it for years. That stuff's terrible.
Yeah.
And but this is my theory regarding that question is I feel like because we've talked to y'all a few times, you've talked to us a few times, but we're still kind of in the infancy of this. I consider it a friendship. I think you guys are fucking awesome. Like I love this, but because of that whole getting to know you thing, and especially we're all very aware of today's social climate and where things are, and we're from before it enough that we recognize the fact that a lot of it's bullshit, but we're both in enough to recognize there are certain pitfalls, and until you really know somebody, you've got to kind of walk this certain line until that familiarity is there. Does that make sense? So I feel like at least initially while we're working this shit out a little bit, as we're going, there's a little bit of like, we don't want to come across as these, just in total transparency, right? At least in the beginning of us meeting, like you don't want to come across as these like closed-minded asshole white dudes and vice versa. You know what I mean? Because you want some common ground there. And I think everybody pulls from the place where they feel like they relate to the other person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and so that's where that comes from, in my opinion. You don't want to come out of the gate swinging with some shit.
Yeah, I understand that completely. I understand that completely. But as we get to know each other more and we do more pies and we create more content together, y'all start to realize like a lot of people don't know at the end of the day. But some people do know that I really don't give a shit about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got to go to sleep free. I got to be able to go. I really don't care about shit at the end of the day.
And
As long
that's
as
absolutely true.
Yeah, I just want to be happy, man, and be free. I don't care. I don't care if you was dressed up right now in a pink skirt with horns on. I ain't gonna treat you no different. And you was. I don't care at the end of the day about
What the fuck do you think I'm wearing under this hoodie, man?
a thong.
Yeah. No, but I mean, but I know, and I get that, and we're the same way. But I feel like when you're meeting somebody new, especially in this medium, there's an element of trying to meet somebody at a level of commonality, right? Before you just start getting off into what the fuck ever. Yeah. And I feel like we know at the place now, like Troy can call in and bust our balls, and we can give each other shit about some things because we've established that now to this point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. I agree with you completely.
And I think also that's part of understanding, because there's obviously a separation, it's not speaking between yourself and I or yourself and us as much as between the white community and the black community, there is definitely a difference in perspective and a breakdown that's there that I can only understand a certain part of looking from the outside in, and vice versa. And I think it's kind of funny to watch it from the outside, two people trying to come from backgrounds that are very different, trying to find that common ground to talk about shit and to open those doors up for conversation. It's really a funny thing how we are as human beings, in the sense of desperately wanting approval and also at the same time wanting our individuality. Like, those two things mixed together is a very strange cocktail.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a complete fact. I agree with you, and
well, goddamn right you do.
I understand what you're saying though, fam. I understand it. Yeah, real crispy clear.
Yeah. And now he's back, so we gotta, whatever.
Hey, now I got a wild question to ask y'all. Do y'all know what twerking is?
Yes.
Yeah. I got my degree.
Twerking when a girl's shaking her booty.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because she makes it clap.
Yeah. So when a man is in the missionary position,
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a male form of twerking?
I think it
might as well be.
I think it is more of a really disgusting cyclops blinking.
No, that's a male's form of twerking.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, when he.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Well, hold on a minute though. Wait a minute. Why does it have to strictly be in the missionary position? Why can't it be in doggy? Why is that not a man twerking?
Yeah,
I didn't think about
it. It's the same position.
Yeah, his cheeks flapping and everything. So yeah. The visual of that is crazy.
Which, by the way, for us, this is episode 69.
Yeah, so, that's right. This is our episode 69.
So you don't have to worry about getting pregnant on this one.
Oh man, this is the prostitute episode, man. Y'all got me on the nasty hour.
That's right.
Ironically enough, I have never heard a black dude joke about a 69. It's a very common, like, white college, high school 69, dude. Yeah. I've never heard a black dude drop a 69 joke. Never once.
Never.
Dang, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't heard it neither, though, to be honest.
Yeah, well, up until Easy was on, I'd never heard a black dude say cunt. It made me so happy that I got him to say that shit.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. I looked back at y'all episode because I didn't watch the full episode, and we going on the length of y'all normal episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Most of my listeners, they got short attention spans. But this is a good one though. This is a good pod. Now
it's big, dude. It's a great episode.
Yeah,
this is a great one. Now, I listened back to y'all whole episode. It take me 2 days to listen to a 2-hour podcast.
I don't even listen to our podcast.
Yeah. But I listen to them though. I listen to all the pods because I just like the camaraderie and the conversation. But it's a question on them Jackson boys that Easy asked yesterday, and I'm gonna ask y'all. This my last question.
Okay.
I done ran out of material, and me, I don't know. I'm just a note type of guy.
I got you.
Sure.
But Easy asked on the podcast yesterday. He said, who the GOAT of wrestling? Who the greatest wrestler of all time? I ain't asking y'all this because y'all white guys. Because I love wrestling, and I know my perspective of who the GOAT is. But who y'all think the GOAT is of wrestling?
I don't know, but Hunter could answer this. Fucking Hunter.
Piece of shit.
There's a guy we know that calls in occasionally and does his own pod. He does a podcast called It's Real to Me, which is about wrestling. Mm-hmm. And he used to do some amateur wrestling, I think. But so he's big into wrestling. I don't know who the GOAT is.
Andre the Giant, bitch.
No, he fucking lost a wrestling match with his heart. What do you mean? What do you mean he's the greatest of all time? I just threw
something out. Princess Bride, man. That's what it all went back to for me just then.
I don't know if we... There's a lot of people we can say from back in the day.
WCW and WWE back in the days?
I watched the WWF before it was called WWE, and then shortly after my wife and I got married, she was into wrestling, and so I started watching it again. Our first anniversary was spent going to the WWE Armageddon in December. Would have been December 2000.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, we went to the pay-per-view event for our 1-year anniversary.
Anyway, back to your question. I don't know that much about wrestling. I watched a little bit during that time because I had a buddy that was really into it. And we played the Nintendo 64 WCW versus NWO all the fucking time. But I don't really, my childhood, I remember wrestling as a kid more than anything, like
Sure.
Hulk Hogan and Jake the Snake and all those
Well,
motherfuckers.
I mean, but you could say
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
no, but you could say Cactus Jack, Mankind, Mick Foley, because he did so many things. But I would think you'd almost have to say Hulk Hogan just because so many people know wrestling by Hulk Hogan, especially people our age.
Yeah,
I think it depends on what you mean by the greatest. But
sure,
the
it
greatest
does.
mean to me the person that kicked the most ass. That's
okay.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Road Warrior. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell y'all my perspective of him, and I would watch him right now if he came on. But that hot damn Undertaker.
Yeah, he just celebrated 30 years. Yeah.
So he celebrated 30 years and he won WrestleMania, which is considered the wrestling Super Bowl.
Sure.
21 times in a row.
Yeah.
That's like the Patriots winning all those Super Bowls if the commissioner had said this is who's going to win ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah, but we got the comment Dip said Hulk Hogan. I think the Undertaker found. But Hulk Hogan is the most known. So
you know what I think the greatest wrestler of all time was?
Shawn Michaels. Troy says Shawn Michaels. The Heartbreak
No,
Kid.
the greatest wrestler of all time was our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because he wrestled Satan into the goddamn pits of hell and saved all of our souls.
You're right. Yeah.
He's a bad man.
Took up to heaven and choke slammed that bitch. Bam!
Into the core of the earth.
Where hell literally is below us.
Hey, it was wild. Troy talking about Shawn Michaels. You know who retired Shawn Michaels, Troy? Don't Google right now the Shawn Michaels last match and you'll know who retired.
Yeah, look at ticket sales. You look at ticket sales and tell me who the greatest band of all time is.
Yeah, Troy
it's not who has the best ticket sales. I can tell you that much, Troy.
Troy said, ticket sales would be Steve Austin and The Rock. So the event that my wife and I went to, I'm pretty sure it was The Rock, Steve Austin, Triple H. Who was the really big sumo guy? I can't remember his name.
Yokozuna.
No, not Yokozuna. No, this was in the early 2000s.
The big old dude, 6'10", something like that, 450.
No, this was he's like sumo. Regardless, it was several of them in a cage match. So that was the main event at the. When I was very young though, a guy took me and his son to go see. The main event was Hulk Hogan and the Big Boss Man back in the day. Yeah.
I wonder if they can wrestle now with the coronavirus.
Yeah, they still do wrestling.
Okay.
My wife watches it. Booker T was the truth. Like the wrestler or Booker T Washington?
Yeah. I don't got nothing but Undertaker and my boy. What's his name? Old man, Ric Flair. They're my guys. Ric Flair, he was whooping butt. He was picking up something, knocking you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I heard you guys talking about GOAT last night. So which most everybody thinks about the GOAT is GOAT, greatest of all time. But you guys, one of you said GOAT was like GOTE, greatest of this era, because you guys are talking about.
Can there not be more than one GOAT?
No,
it can't be more than one GOAT.
The first word is greatest
of this era of all time.
No, I'm saying that
I'm the greatest in this
most people. Sure. Most people think GOAT, GOAT, greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And all right, so to go to what they were talking about last night, basketball, NBA, greatest of all time. Who do you say?
Larry Bird.
I mean, why not? Why can't he be? He was the best trash talker. He could shoot it from anywhere.
I don't give a shit, dude.
No, I'm just saying, but most people would say Michael Jordan, right? Most people, depending on your age. But I think Easy was saying LeBron, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But one of you said, well, what if it's GOTE, greatest of this era? Which I think you could make the argument legitimately that it's LeBron. But where does Kobe fall? I wanted to ask this last night, but I didn't because I was doing the dishes like
about
a good
15,000 feet.
No, Kobe.
What era does he fall in under? Because he played in both of those.
2000 or 2010, and LeBron is 2010 and 2020.
How long has LeBron been in the league?
Since 2003, but he wasn't better than Kobe those years.
Okay.
I'm just sad you're the only one that heard that
I know.
joke.
I heard that joke and I thought it was amazing. I'm sure some people are offended by that, but
what joke?
When I said, where does Kobe fall in that? Steven said about 15,000 feet.
Nah. Oh, God. Oh.
Yeah.
Troy says Steven is some kind of emoji. I don't know. Kobe was the truth. Kobe was good.
Yeah,
Kobe was good. I don't think any of them are Jordan, though.
Nah, I ain't know. Damn, you said about 15,000 feet. I need a drink. I'm sober.
You should be drinking. I heard. All right, hold on a minute. Let's talk about drinking and you for just a second. Because when you were on our podcast the last time, 3 or 4 weeks ago, you had half a glass of wine and said that you were pretty toasted. We had a whole what? Man, they go to hell. No, Troy says Steven is drunk. No, he's far from it.
I'm totally sober still.
He's far from it. Yeah, we got a pretty good tolerance. Steven more so than me, but we got a pretty good tolerance. But so all right, you had half a glass of wine, said you were pretty toasted. We had a whole bottle of wine, and we're stone cold sober.
Well,
and then last night you were drinking kombucha, just like you are tonight on your episode with Jack and Easy. And you, toward the end, were drinking kombucha, and you said, this says 1% alcohol, and I'm feeling a little tipsy. What the hell is going on?
Okay.
He's drunk on the Holy Ghost.
It must be.
Well, to me, I'm going to tell you why I get tipsy like that. I think it's because, like, I'm a vegan, first of all. I don't consume a lot of foods and stuff.
That's what's wrong with you.
No. I have the utmost respect because this is the first time we've heard of that. So bravo to you, sir.
It's not the first time I've heard of it.
That's the first time I've heard of it.
Okay. I knew he was a vegan.
Yeah. He's never mentioned it to us.
No, you're right. He's not, but I knew he was a vegan. But yeah. Everyone has a flaw. That's fine.
I'm
just kidding.
I can't eat creatures, man. It's just something about them creatures, man. I can't eat them things.
You don't feel like plants are living? Have you ever watched Lord of the Rings?
Plants are alive.
Fucking trees walked all over the place.
Plants are alive more than animals, to be honest. They talk and the wind blows and they communicate with each other. And you know what I mean? Plants are alive. And
you're fucking murdering every one of them.
Yeah. Fuck it.
No, go ahead. No. So you're saying you're vegan. So go ahead.
So I'm really a health conscious guy. I'm not an alcoholic guy, but I love a good glass of wine. But me being a vegan, most of the time when I do these podcasts on the weekend or whatever, I work out. I do strenuous workouts on Friday and Saturday because I'm trying to get this gut off from when I used to eat them chicken wings and all of that. I'm trying to get healthy and stay healthy because I'm getting up there in the years, right? So I work out today. If you see anything that I've done, any posts I made, I went to a place called True Rest.
Yeah, I saw that. That float tank.
Yeah,
I've done those. Yeah,
a float meditation tank with 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in it. But before I did that, I ran a 5K, and me and my lady worked out. So my pores are so open. If I was to have a glass of wine right now, I probably will fall out this chair. You know what I mean?
You don't pour it. You don't pour it on you.
Don't be an asshole.
Oh, no, I'm just. So I got. All right. So you're vegan. You're trying to be healthy, and you're trying to lose your gut. You said, right?
Yeah, I'm a month and a half pregnant.
I'm sorry. Isn't that about the first time? Isn't that about the first time we did our podcast?
That's not much because that's not much because I'm probably about 8 or 9 months pregnant right now. But what if someone presented you with some information that said that meat protein was good for you and would help you lose weight? Would you try that, or would you be vegan anyway?
I'd rather be 500 pounds than eat a piece of meat now.
Really? Why is that?
I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Why though? Like, what's your reasoning? Like, what is it morally or whatever? Like, whatever it is, that's fine. Like, but I'm just like, what is it about that?
Ain't nothing wrong with it for nobody else doing it. Cause I used to love eating chicken wings. I was a chicken wing connoisseur. You know what I mean? Ribs. I worked at a barbecue shop, my first job from 9 to like 15 years old. But I can't do it. Like, I cook too. I cook meat for my lady. I cook a lot of food for my lady.
I assumed that your lady was vegan, and that's where you got on it. Because that's just in my experience. Most men that are vegan are because their partner or whatever is vegan. Most of the men that I know that are vegan are because their wife, girlfriend, whatever was vegan.
See, I was saying, I know a lot of people that aren't, but after they got away from eating meat, they can't do it anymore. They don't even want to do it anymore. Like even the taste, like trying to get back just makes them sick as shit. Like most of the people I know that have.
I got you.
Yeah.
I mean,
stop eating meat for a month and then eat a piece of meat.
Right.
Okay. Watch what'll happen. I'm gonna tell you, you'll never do it again. It's like, why can't I put one of y'all on the grill? If that's the case.
Well, it's because it's against the law, but I mean, outside of that, fine.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I got you.
It's the same thing. To be honest, I deep fur the animal, and then you take the fur off the animal, you cook them. He was alive. He was thinking about having sex with his girl before you put him on the grill. You know what I mean? And hanging out with his kids or whatever. It's weird to me though to be eating blood.
And that's understandable. Like we give you shit about it.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like, well, for me, and this isn't nearly the same thing, but I can't eat red meat anymore without just absolutely, like, it destroys my fucking stomach. I don't, like, every now and then I'll be like, I'm gonna have a steak, and I know ahead of time what the fuck it's gonna do to me, and it's always bad. Now, and Clara, serial killers don't always eat their prey. I mean, the good ones do, but not all of them. Just, throwing that out there to clarify.
Now, how many times y'all shit a day?
Me?
Maybe once.
Okay.
Maybe once.
30, 40 times.
Oh, well, your digestive system work good.
At least once, depending on whatever. But I've also, over the last few weeks, started eating, like I've been doing the intermittent fasting shit because I'm getting fat as fuck too. And
so you take a break between your bowls of Fruity Pebbles?
Right. Well, I usually go, like, I go to bed and I don't eat until like 4 in the afternoon. And then I've been eating like no water, or I'm sorry, no sodas and shit. Yeah. Told you my goal is 25 pounds by fucking New Year's.
All right.
Okay. Okay, that's what's up.
Anyway, we're arguing like whatever, but so I know we're getting near the end of what you usually do time wise. Okay. And I have we're not trying to cut you off. We'll talk about it if you fucking want to.
We'll stay in here till 2 in the morning.
We have this new thing we've started doing, and then there's a Reddit. Do you ever fuck with Reddit at all? Website?
No. I heard about it, but I don't fuck with it though.
Okay, so Reddit,
it's a very white
thing, but they have all these things, like it's basically an umbrella, and they have all these things called subreddits underneath them, and very subjects, topics, porn, whatever the fuck you want to get into. Okay. But there's a particular one called "Am I the Asshole?" And it's people essentially that post questions publicly about, hey, this is a situation. Am I an asshole in this situation? And then people reply back and tell them, yes, you are. No, you're not. Most of the time, it's people wanting validation for being assholes. But so we've gotten to where now, every now and then, we'll read one or two on here and then discuss whether that person is an asshole or not.
We've done it once.
Let's talk about it.
It's becoming a normal thing. I just pulled one up that's not very long, and I didn't know if you'd want to, engage in the in judging this person on the internet that we've never met.
Please, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's handle it.
All right, here's the topic, or the header. Am I the asshole for refusing to call my niece by her actual name because it's terrible? And so here's the explanation. My brother and his girlfriend had a baby girl 2 months ago. I didn't visit her in the hospital due to restrictions, but I quickly found out that they named her Celexa.
Oh my God. That sounds like a drug.
One Google search will tell you that it is the name of an antidepressant medication. I don't understand the thought process behind choosing that name, but I really cannot stand it, and I laugh whenever someone in my family refers to her. I decided just to call her Lexa. And when my brother's girlfriend asked me why I never call her Celexa, I told her the truth, that it's the name of a medication, and now apparently I've made her upset because she's worried that people are going to bully their daughter. Nobody in my family seems to be on my side, so now I'm wondering if it was a mistake to point it out. Am I the asshole?
First off,
let's hold on. Let's give it to him.
Okay.
What do you think?
He's not an asshole, and he did the right thing. I agree with that. Because if your name shit, right when I heard it, I'm going to give you a nickname immediately.
Right.
Yes.
Immediately. He ain't an asshole. I agree with him.
Which is a thing. It's a difference in like the black community and white community or whatever. It's like we tend to be a little nicer about that thing, and to the detriment of the other people. And black people will give you a nickname for good or for bad right off the bat. Immediately. Yes. Yeah. And it's first off, I applaud you because that's how I want to be all the time. Like there's so many things I want to say and do when it comes to things in my family that I'm just like, I have to dial it back because they're not going to get it. Because you can give a nickname to, let's say, a niece or nephew or whatever, and the family's not going to cancel Christmas over it. But if I do something like that, I'm not invited to Christmas anymore. Like I'm out. Damn. Yeah, no, it's just because it's rude, it's mean, I shouldn't do that or whatever. But yeah, I've got some nieces. I've got some nieces and nephews that we definitely, my 5 people in my family, we have nicknames for them, but we could never say that out loud at a family gathering.
That's crazy. So you wouldn't have been invited to the Christmas party. That's why Steve couldn't get his penis moisturized before he got married. What would have happened if you'd have got your penis moisturized before you got married?
Oh man,
his mom would have had to wash her hands.
Oh shit! Bravo, sir. Bravo. No, you know what? I wouldn't have gotten married, but honestly, the only reason I got married, like there were some major other shits going on anyway, and it was basically the church we were in was like, oh, it's Satan coming against you. You just need to pray through it, and it'll be fine. Blah 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 blah. Granted, I made my own decisions. I mean, I take responsibility for that, but most of that was influenced by, listening to your leaders or elders and all that shit. But regardless, no, had I gotten a taste of some fucking pussy before I was married, yeah, dude, I would have been off to the races. There'd been a whole different, different outcome to that. But, okay. Yeah, but I mean, really,
then what's my excuse? Because I got some taste before I got married.
Yeah, because you knocked her up when you were 12.
Why you call it some taste?
Well, because it was a taste.
So
Joey got his wife pregnant at 12, and they've been together ever since.
It was not 12.
Hey, he got super.
I was 8. I was 18. We're fixing to celebrate our 21st wedding anniversary. So.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a beautiful thing.
My current marriage has lasted longer than my other 2 combined, so I'm doing good this time around.
Oh, y'all some good men, man. Y'all some good men.
Yeah, one of us is.
It's about time to upgrade them rings. How many times y'all done upgrade the rings?
Just once.
Okay. I was trying to put. I was trying to get y'all because if y'all wife was listening.
I didn't know. I haven't upgraded shit. Mine's rubber and has been for a long. Oh, you mean her ring?
Her ring.
Oh shit. Well, here's the thing. Like my wife now, Amanda, she doesn't give a shit about diamonds. She doesn't give a shit about any of that stuff. She likes if it's pretty. I mean, she's a big fan of like rubies and like other type of emeralds and shit, but doesn't give a fuck about the diamond.
Yeah, she's a creator. I wasn't thinking about that. She's an artist and a creator. So,
but at the same
and a damn good one at that.
Yeah, she is.
She's really good.
Ask her. I want her to make my next album cover. I want her to create some idea that's gonna be in my head.
All right, I'll let her know.
Yeah.
I'll draw it for you. I can draw a stick guy with a big dick. Like that's.
And I named the album Catastrophic.
Just you can name it Not Steven.
So I see here Troy saying, Joey, is that your family don't believe in the mask up thing? Yes, some of my family doesn't. Some of my family didn't, and they do now. I've had 11 total people in my family that have had COVID. There's probably 1 or 2 more that haven't been diagnosed yet, but yeah, some of my family did not believe in the mask thing, and for me, I'm hit or miss with it.
COVID from sucking a dick.
You'd be surprised. No, I see that. So I wear a mask anywhere that it's required, but I also I live with 2 women that have compromised immune systems. So I have to be a little extra careful.
I've always hated
that. Is that a white guy thing? You can't take
the mask thing.
The mask you can't take. No, not for me. It's fun.
Stop. Just stop. Troy's baiting you, man.
I know he is.
He's just reeling you right the fuck in.
Because I think I probably agree with Troy. It's like, well, they mandate that you wear a fucking seatbelt, so fucking wear the seatbelt. I mean,
it's a whole different debate, though.
When I was bigger, I didn't like seatbelts because I didn't like the belt just laying out on my stomach and shit.
All right. Well, see, to me, here's the difference. And people will play that bullshit all the time. But the thing about masks, whether you believe it, whether you don't believe it, it doesn't fucking matter. It affects other people around you, right?
That's
like people want to talk about seatbelt shit. And I think that's a matter of choice. Like, I get people are stupid. If you're not an adult, fucking mandate that shit. Sure. But if you're over the fucking 18 and you can shoot a gun, you can vote, you can pay taxes, all that shit, I should be able to choose whether I want to wear a seatbelt or not. Granted, I should, but if I'm dumb enough to not and I die, well, that's the whole like Darwinism, survival of the fittest type of bullshit. Same thing with a helmet law on a motorcycle. If I'm a fucking adult and I'm riding a bike, I shouldn't have to wear a helmet. But we have made it a point to protect the stupid people in the world as a whole for a lot of that stuff, because we want to take care of everyone as opposed to just letting people kill themselves off from their own stupid decisions. Yeah. And the mask thing, I've actually had a couple conversations about this, and I understand both sides. Like, I understand the, hey, everybody needs to wear a mask. We can slow this thing down, or eradicate it, blah, blah, blah. But I also see the value and be like, you know what? Fuck the masks. Let it kill off the people it's going to kill off, and then we'll all go on.
Right.
But, I mean, that's a super insensitive, terrible, because, I mean, I don't want my, I can understand why somebody wouldn't want their grandparents to die or wouldn't want their kids. You know what I mean? Like, I get that, like, wanting to protect them. But at the same time, it's like, well, how long is it going to be? Like, my dad just got tested positive for COVID. He's a very slim chance of making it through this shit. But again, he didn't quarantine. He didn't wear masks. He didn't do any of that other shit. So it's like, what are you going to do? Like, you have to pick one or the other. You can't have like, well, I'm going to wear a mask sometimes or not other times.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
So
we got a buzz coming in somewhere.
Oh yeah. I don't hear it.
That was mine.
So when my mom got COVID, and she was not a mask wearing person. And I remember texting back and forth with her while she was in the thick of it, because it hit her hard. Like, her husband and my youngest sister, the three of them see each other daily. My sister and my mom's husband, it didn't affect them a lot. But my mom, like, you would have thought it was the end of the world. Oh my God. You would have thought it was the end of the world for my mom when she had it, which it really did affect her quite a bit. But she also has a compromised immune system. What the hell did you just pour? Tequila? Nice. We're drinking everything tonight.
Yeah, I got a bar over there.
We do. We have a lot. Yes. But after I said to my mom, I was like, well, maybe as people have this, they'll realize how important it was to wear a mask when you're in large groups of people. And she said, I didn't think it was important, but now I see that I should have been wearing a mask around people. I'm like, fine. It just sucks ass that it took you getting coronavirus and feeling like you're going to die to make that decision. But to speak to what, like Troy saying, is that a white guy thing? You can't take my rights. Here's part of
a Southern thing.
Well, a little bit. It's not,
or redneck, I should say.
I think it's just a more conservative, right-wing thing, no matter where you're from. Here's the thing, like, the CDC said when it came to voting, if you have the coronavirus, that you should break quarantine and go and vote. Now, I think if you feel like you're supposed to vote, fine. Fucking whatever. You should wear a mask if you have coronavirus or whatever. But I'm saying, like, if the CDC says you shouldn't gather in large groups, then why are they telling you to go vote if you have the coronavirus when you could possibly spread it? But then also, you had Fauci, who said you shouldn't be going to church and gathering in large groups right now because of the possibility of spread. But when pressed on the issue of, well, then what about protests. That's large groups of people. And he wouldn't say yes or no to it. He just kept his mouth shut. Coronavirus has turned to such a political topic that
From the get-go, really.
from the get-go, yeah. That so the people on the right, which I fall into the middle, but the people on the right, they feel like they're getting skewed information and very biased opinions on what should be done about it. Well, who was it in somebody in California had said you shouldn't be going out in large groups, but if you need to go out and celebrate Biden winning the election, then that's fine or whatever, just be careful. It's like, well, you either should be in large groups or you shouldn't be. It's either okay or it isn't. It's one or the other. And that's the thing. Like, I get that it's way more nuanced than that, but for the most part, people don't think of it that way. They think of it as I either need to wear my mask or I don't. And when you start talking out of both sides of your mouth, people start going, well, fuck this. You guys are full of shit. I'm not going to do it anymore. And then that causes an issue, which is a little more maybe the what they want out of the political.
But you have both sides of the fence.
Well.
You have the conservatives in that shit, but then you have people be like, well, you're breathing in your own air and it's bad for you because you're breathing all the CO2. So I'm just saying you have that.
No, I get it. But I'm saying if you're that stupid, then fuck off.
If we listen, like in anything in politics, if we listen to them folks enough, we'll be confused. Yeah. To be honest, that's why I just do. I wear. I got 300 of these. These are the only ones I wear too. Yeah. These blue masks. Yeah. These blue masks, these hospital masks, but
Clara Freeman says, I wear the mask, but it does bother my breathing sometimes. Clearly, Clara, you've never eaten a pussy.
We don't know that, though.
We don't know that, but I'm just going to say, I'm just assuming. I mean, it's a process of elimination.
Okay. So I got a question for y'all before we close the pod.
Yeah, it's about time to start, winding down, I think.
Yeah. Because I don't know, I'm getting a little fatigued, but the conversation is phenomenal. Yeah. Okay, so do y'all think we're gonna be living with the coronavirus for the rest of our lives?
Some form of it, yeah.
Sure, I do too. Hold on. What is Clara saying? That's why they had mail-in voting. I don't feel like they should be promoting. I don't feel like they should be protesting because if you really care about your family, you won't chance it. Nah, I think I agree with that for the most part. But as far as mail-in voting goes, you had to request a mail-in ballot ahead of time. So what if on Monday you got diagnosed with COVID, the vote's on Tuesday? You can't get a mail-in.
That's
ballot.
A good thing I don't care about my family.
No, all the other people that's going to the poll, I just go to COVID.
You also have the governor of California. California's fucking on lockdown. Not anymore. It's Gavin Newsom.
The old one.
Yeah, that's the new one. Gavin Newsom is fucking on. Claire says she has not eaten a pussy before. You don't know what you're missing.
No, that's my
sticky lips.
That's my neighbor. She's probably. How old are you, Miss Claire? Put that in the comments.
Miss Claire. Oh God, he called her Miss. That means she's older than us, Miss Clara. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Miss Clara. Pray for me, please. Oh God.
Has she ever ate a vagina before? Look,
no, not vagina. I straight up said pussy. There's a difference.
See, I'm trying to be PC to Miss.
No, I know you are.
Oh shit.
We've relegated ourselves to being canceled long ago.
Have you ever kissed a bratwurst before?
Yeah. No.
Not the one.
I tried my own, but I mean, no. So
it's like this guy I used to work with always say, man, the first time I sucked a dick, I was drunk as shit. The second time I knew I didn't like it.
Oh man. I can't do that.
Oh shit, look at Miss Clara. No, but she sure has had it eat.
There you go.
Good for you,
Miss
ma'am.
Clara. Okay. All right. Get you some.
Somebody groceries.
Like groceries. All right.
Oh shit.
What I was saying is you have half of the country anyway. You have Gavin Newsom in California that has said California's on fucking lockdown. Like you can't do shit. You can't cut hair inside. You can't. The Comedy Store wanted to broadcast out into the parking lot for people to be in the parking lot, social distance with masks. And the comedian was going to be inside the Comedy Store, but they were going to broadcast it to the parking lot. They wouldn't let them do it, but they will let them broadcast the NBA Finals and things like that. What fucking sense does that make? But then Gavin Newsom in the last week or two has been busted at a high-end restaurant up in, I think it's in Northern California, called the French Laundry, with 12 other people, not socially distanced, not wearing masks, not outdoors, having dinner with these people. And then people see that kind of shit and they go, fuck it, it can't be that important, so I'm going to go and do whatever the fuck I want. And while that's an extreme decision to make, I can kind of understand that. If the people in charge are saying, don't do this, but then they're not doing the same thing, fuck them.
Yeah, that's a fact. And that's how control.
Yep.
Back to where we started off
for
the
sure.
whole podcast. We started the whole podcast off with control and what people are willing to do to keep the control and what people are willing to do to obtain control and what people are willing to do to not lose the control.
Well, I mean, somebody like Gavin Newsom has nothing to worry about. California's not going to vote in a Republican governor anytime in the near future. It's always going to be a Democrat, but he also knows that he's on tap to possibly be transportation czar or whatever for the Biden administration. So he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So that's whatever. That's a whole other
I heard you say
conversation.
that people had the opportunity to go out and celebrate the Biden win for a moment. If you have to go out and celebrate, what was it to celebrate that he go? What he gonna do that's gonna make me want to go out and have a drink?
Give us the first woman president in about a year.
Because he might croak over. Now let me stop.
No, I mean seriously. You think about how much Trump, which is not a lot because of the paint that goes on him, how much he looks like he's aged in 4 years. But you look at Obama, who was a young guy when he took office.
Yes, sir.
He fucking looks old as shit when he came out of
40
of
something
office.
and he came out 65. And they say black don't crack, but I don't think Obama is black though.
Ooh.
Okay, I gotta see. I keep going. I know I need to get off here because I'm gonna keep going. When we coming on for part 2?
Whenever, man.
Before we step into what you're about to say, I want to say my only takeaway from this whole podcast, no matter what comes next, is I want to be friends with Miss Clara. That's all. That's the only thing I'm coming out of here with. But go ahead, man. What did you have to say?
Miss Clara, that's my baby now. And I don't know now. I ain't sharing Miss Clara.
I just said I want to be friends. She's awesome.
Now, you heard
Those are
about
some
her
of the best
talking about
comments.
she had her groceries ate. I'm just messing. Y'all married men, man. Let me cut it out. Miss Clara, this is my girl though. Follow her on. Hey, Miss Clara, follow these boys and check they live after B3F podcast. They dope.
Every Monday morning at 6 a.m.
Stamped and approved. They dope. Stamped and approved.
You know, that's all we want. We just want to be the white people's voice into the black community. That's all we want.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Troy would never let it happen.
No, for sure. For sure. He'd run over my ass with his Audi. We have an Audi too, Troy. So we're brothers in a sense. We as in me and my wife.
Yeah. All right. So let's give Trevor the last word here, man.
Ahead.
We've been talking over you.
I forgot.
You haven't even been drinking tonight.
Obama. Back to Obama. What I was gonna say about Obama? He 50.
You said you don't think he's black.
Oh, okay. This the question now. Why? I know why, but I want to know what y'all think why before we log off, because we 2 hours and 30 minutes. This is the longest pod I ever did.
Yeah.
No, I'm fatigued now.
Yeah, but you look damn good.
Oh man, thank you, man. I'm pretty, man.
Hold
I
on a
drink
minute,
a lot
Troy.
of water.
How old are you, Trevor?
40.
Okay. Well, we're the same age, so all right.
Okay. So, at the end of the day, why, if you have a little piece of black in you, you black? Obama got white in him, everything in him. Kenyan, whatever. He's not. Why, if you got a little piece of, from y'all perspective, why if you got a little piece of black in you, you black?
I don't know.
All I know is the one time I had a little piece of black in me, I was sore.
Chances are it wasn't a little piece. No, I'm sure it goes back to some form of racism. Eating cuckoo is overrated. It has no taste.
You're eating the wrong fucking pussy.
That's right. 1/8 rule.
Yeah, because it tastes like what they ate. Because it got whatever they ate, it come out of it. So if they eating pineapples, it tastes like pineapple. If it tastes like
so if pussy tastes like pussy, then you're in a good place.
Right. If it tastes like hot wings and Frank's Buffalo Ranch, then
what if it tastes like smoked sausage?
This tastes like my dad.
No, so to go back to what your question about why people, if you got a little bit of black in you, you're considered black. I'm sure it goes back to some form of trying, some form of some group of white people trying to keep black out of the bloodline. I'm sure it goes back to that because my kids, who if you go strictly by their parents and their grandparents, my oldest son, who's my stepson, would be considered 3/4 black, 1/4 white, and then my youngest two would be considered 3/4 white, 1/4 black. But all of their birth certificates say black on it. So I don't know why it is that way. But Troy said 8th rule from slavery. So there you go. I thought 8th rule was how much dick was going into Stephen's ass.
Eighth of penis.
Yeah, so that's it. So I'm that kind of falls along with what I was saying. Is I'm sure it had something to do with trying to keep a black bloodline out of a white bloodline.
Can it go back further than that though?
Maybe. I don't know.
Further than slavery, further than that. Like, don't they say Africans was the first people on the planet? And they consider that you got a piece of African in you.
If it tastes like fish, you're in trouble. That's what Clara said. Excuse me, Clara. It's your apostrophe R-E.
Okay, but here's my thing. Joey's saying that, but based on what your question is, as far as having a little bit of black and being considered that, would you not think the opposite of that could not be true as well, in the sense of the black community wanting to see people victorious, so to speak, or rising above the level they've been held at? Anybody with any amount of African American in them, they want to champion that aspect in the sense of what they could, the black community can accomplish. So like with Obama, for instance, whether no matter how black or not black he was, the fact that he was at least partially black is a victory for the black communities. Like, this guy rose above and became president of the goddamn United States. Therefore, we all can be that.
Maybe.
I'm asking as a question.
That shit didn't have no motivation for me.
I'm not saying for you, but I'm saying at least how it is spun to the community. Like, not the black community, but just how it is used from a political standpoint of being like, hey, look, we have this guy. He's mostly white, but he's a little black. So therefore he can get the black vote because he has more black in him than all the other white dudes running.
But even though he has more,
I'm just using your example, like what you brought up, like the fact that he is
a piece of black. Yeah, that is true. You got a little piece of black in you, a little piece of African American. Well, not African American, African. We got to go back to the continent of Africa. You got a little piece of Africa in you. Well, Africans got white people on the planet too.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's just too much, man.
I know a white guy from Africa that told some people one time he was African American, and he was shut down quickly over it. Told that he was not African American. But anyway, regardless, I think Stephen's saying the black community wanting to grasp hold of anything that could be considered, black accomplishment or whatever. Which is an interesting thing, because my wife had told me one time that if you're mixed.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick though on that.
Yep.
Not, and I misworded. Not that the black community wants to hang on to that, but it's used politically to spin it in that regard.
Yeah.
I got you. I see. My wife had told me one time that when you're mixed, so my wife, her mom's white and her dad's black, had said that on the black side of a mixed person, on the black side of your family, you're constantly having to prove your blackness. Now, I don't know how true it is. I never had to deal with that, but she said for sure you're always having to prove your blackness when you're mixed.
I don't know about that though. I doubt that we. Well, in my family, we don't look at it like that.
I think she's saying prove it strictly more in your tastes and what you're into, not so much your actual heritage on paper.
Yeah,
we're talking about what kind of music you listen to, what kind of shows you watch, things like that.
Like Childish Gambino.
And to me, when I look at y'all and I think of me, I think we all mixed. The whole country is mixed. I don't think that nobody is genuinely, you know what I'm saying, a one race human being no more.
Sure.
I think everybody is mixed. So when I look at black in America, being black in America, we are all mixed. Like even the Caucasians, people aren't pure Caucasians no more.
No, I agree. No, I'm laughing because, and I agree with you, but I just did one of those ancestry DNA bullshits to whatever. I swear to shit, I'm probably one of the whitest fucking people in America. Like everything was like fucking England, Norwegian, Irish, Scottish. Like everything was in that pocket. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. I'm such an. I had one family member that was like Barbados. It was like,
so you didn't have a piece of Africa.
No, man. No, but no, I agree with you. I mean, I say that jokingly, but just that made me think of that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but no, but you're right. We're all a little bit of everything at this point in time.
We everything at the end of the day. And to me, that the only reason I asked that question is because I feel like if you have they say that, well, it's said that the African people was the first people on the planet, the dominant race or whatever, the African people. And I think that's why if you have a piece of African in you, then they just consider you African American. But I don't know why they say to put the word American on it. Neither. I don't understand that.
I don't know why they need to put anything on it other than American. If you're born and raised here, you're American. Who cares where your ancestors come from?
I have a theory on that, but
I'm sure you do.
No, I do, but it's not pertinent to what's going on right now. Sure. It's a conversation for a different time.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But go ahead, man. Sorry.
Oh, no. What was you saying? Go ahead.
No. I assumed we were wrapping up at this point. So I was just going to tell you, like, I am legitimately like, when you and Troy come on, dude, we've had the best fucking conversations we have with than almost any other guest that we have. So we truly appreciate you guys and considering you guys friends. At least I do. I can't speak for Joey. He tends to be racist, but
he is.
I don't have any African in me, but I like to be in a little African.
Hey. No, but seriously, man, like we love the shit out of you guys, man, and you're always have an open invitation here.
Hey, the same here and all the platforms that I'm at, boss. I appreciate y'all, man. Can we play the intro back for the outro?
Dude, I got it. I got it right here if you're ready for it.
We want to have you and Troy on together at some point. Troy, if you're still listening, we want you on at some point alone and with Trevor. But any of you guys watching this that have never seen us before, honestly, we'd love to have you guys listen and chime in anytime we're doing anything. Our other guests are not pissed. They know we fucking hate
I'm going to say one thing to Scott, though. He said, it doesn't matter where your ancestors come from. You can learn more about yourself. Scott, I agree with you 100%. You can know yourself better, but you cannot let who your ancestors were or what they went through to define you, period. You can learn from yourself and you can learn where you came from and you can find the shitty things that your ancestors, whatever did, and you can grow from that, but you can't let it define you.
Right.
That would be my opinion.
Where the clapping hands at?
On both sides of that.
No. I'm not talking about him specifically.
You can't live under a victim mentality of it, depending on where your ancestors from, but you also can't live under a victor mentality.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. No matter what it is.
No matter what.
You heard his rebuttal to that. You heard his rebuttal to that. But we've been on, my girl will cuss me out. Now, I said that the last time I was on y'all podcast. You know what I mean? My baby, I ain't married yet. I'm trying to get.
I got you.
My baby gonna beat me up now, y'all. Know what I'm saying? But his rebuttal was that only works if you're white.
What only works if you're white?
We as blacks in America don't have a clue of our ancestors.
Gotcha.
That's some food for thought.
Yeah.
And again, dude, like I am not claiming to be an expert on any type of genealogy, background, whatever. I'm just talking about as humankind, taking all the other shit out of it. Like you can only be who you're going to be now and in the future. And just like you can, anybody, that's all we can be. And you can learn from the shit that went down behind you. Right. And you can grow from that. And there's even certain things that inherently make us who we are because of those things. But all we can do as people, like, and this sounds stupid and hoity-toity, what the fuck ever. And in theory, it's all fucking like I'm a nihilist in general. Like none of this shit matters over the next fucking million years. We're all going to be dead and the world's not going to be here. It doesn't matter. But like I'm a big believer in like the world's a shitty fucking place as it is. So the best thing we can do is like be kind to each other, and like the better I can make your life, the better you can make my life, the easier it's going to be to get through this shit show of the fucking world. Right. But in the fact of the matter is in like 1,000 years, nobody's going to know who the fuck you are. Nobody's going to know who the fuck I am. Like we'll all be dead. Nobody's going to care. It's going to be a whole different set of whatever.
And closing to the show, what I'm going to tell y'all that I think, and what I think you're saying is what I'm thinking. I think God's purpose on this planet is that we're all one at the end of the day. We're all human beings first before we're any of that other shit. It really don't exist. This location, that location, whatever. We're all human. We're the human race first.
Steven hugs trees. Fuck you, Troy. But my whole point is everything fucking like it's a different set of problems and a different set of struggles. But the bottom line is deep down, we're all pretty fucking miserable, right? And usually misery begets misery. If I'm unhappy, I'm going to make other people around me unhappy, and vice versa.
I got a solution for that.
Hand jobs. Oh, what?
Stop eating creatures for a month.
I fucking knew that's what he was going to say.
Except for pussy. And I think that is the note to go out.
But you don't chew on it and swallow it.
I want to know why you won't let him have the last word.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
He cuter than me, that's why.
No, that ain't
funnier. True. He's known as the funny one.
Joey's the cute one.
That's right. I was called the cute one. Steven's called the funny one.
Hey, I also would legitimately, I'm going to give you the last word, but I do want to say I really appreciate your fans and the people watching you chiming in and joining in the conversation. It's been really fucking cool to have them. So I appreciate all you guys too. Except for Troy, man. Troy's just a fucking dick.
Oh,
no, I love you.
Hey, that's what's up, man. And hey, I appreciate y'all being on the pod. I appreciate doing the mashup pod with y'all. We're going to do this again. And at the end of the day, all people ain't fans. I don't even know the definition of a fan or fanatic. We family. We all family. Love everybody. Let's get it.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.